Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to RGL. We are here live for the lower finals of this season of Invite Sixes, the Covenant taking on the Greasy Dot Hogs. My name's Godfather, your strongest caster, joined by Jarrett on the mic with Dolphin behind the scenes. Jarrett, welcome back to the casting booth. How are you feeling today?
Thanks, long time no see. It's been a bit, but I'm ready. I think this matchup is probably one of the most anticipated ones after people have watched them play the entire season, so all that culminating into what we have now is definitely going to be a sight to behold, and I'm really excited to see what the final outcome is going to be after, in maybe an hour or two from now.
Yeah, and after this cast, of course, there is the Grand Finals matchup. Tech punched their ticket there last night, and we will have to wait and see who will meet them there. Let's take a quick look at the pick bans, though, before we get any further. Dolphin will pull them up, but starting us off, a ban of Product and Metalworks following. Dot Hogs banning that map out. The Covenant picks process. Dot Hogs pick Granary. Sultry and Sunshine both banned out, and then Gully Wash will be our decider. Jarrett, you've played against these players all season. Maybe give us your expert insight into these pick bans.
I think most of these kind of make sense realistically. The first couple bans, the only one that doesn't really make as much sense to me, which I'm sure they have a reasoning for, it's just not as obvious as the Metalworks ban from Dot Hogs. I feel like they probably should feel pretty confident on it, I would imagine, or maybe maybe because they had success, maybe Covenant put some extra time into it, and then with a Plan B strategy, and then maybe Dot Hogs haven't found a way to get a good footing on the map again. But a lot of the other stuff, like the Product ban, they've literally had this match before where Dot Hogs is able to take it away, so Covenant not really interested in revisiting it. The Sunshine ban, I see later down the line. I think Dot Hogs have stated verbally before that there's players on the team that like that map, but it's a whole different ballgame when you talk about a team and their ability to work together, and it doesn't seem like that's as strong in their map pool as other maps. So I think it makes sense for the most part. The Dot Hogs Granary mids, they were really good after playing them last night, and I'm sure they're pretty confident on the map. Covenant, Cross is a classic pick. If you are really confident and view yourself as a better team, then it would make sense to really want to just go for a classic and not avoid any sort of cheese aspect of oh no, they did this really weird mid and now all of a sudden we found ourselves on the back foot. So it definitely makes sense.
There you have it.
Pretty much.
Let's take a look at the rosters. Of course, we've all seen these players play. You, of course, have faced them. Starting us off, on the side of the Covenant, we have Zam and Gungan on Scout, Trip and Kev are on Soldier, Dingo, Demoman, and Aizen on Medic. On the side of the Greasy Dot Hogs, Rakuso and Shamu are on Scout, Crypt and Pawdog are the Soldiers, Sin Karma on Demo, and Dank on Medic. Jarrett, any players in particular sticking out to you as difference makers, potential difference makers in this matchup?
I think there's some for both teams. I think the big ones are probably, I guess it depends on what angle you really look at it. If you want to look for playmakers, if you want to see who might falter or who might really prove through, it might be a playstyle type of deal. I think for me it's a mix though. When I just look at these teams and I try to imagine their identity. Maybe it's a bit harder for the Covenant since it's only been a couple weeks with them having the Scout duo. But for me, I kind of look at Kev for the Covenant because he seems like the rock of their team and their playmaker. And if Kev's doing good, then the Covenant is having a good time. But if Kev isn't able to really have a game, then it kind of falls on the rest of the team's shoulders. And even if Dingo picks up some of the slack, for example, they could still kind of fall a bit. And I think that's a really important aspect because I think Kev's their main color as well. For the side of the Dot Hogs, I actually kind of look a little bit more towards Dank, not because it's he's on Medic, so he's obviously not going to be a playmaker, right? But I think his playstyle is pretty pronounced, and it's actually pretty effective. Him doing a healthy amount of baiting as a medic to make sure that he survives as much as possible to pump out the heals and get the Ubers going. But it's also a very defining trait of this team, and is very important to identify and try to dismantle if you want to be able to beat them. So the Covenant had some time to figure out how they want to address this. They have the other team's playstyle basically written out for them for a large portion of the season, and it all comes down to this to see if all the studying you did and all the little things that you practiced are really put to the test to see if you can figure out how to put yourself in the driver's seat and come home with it.
Yeah, we saw Kev off-classing to Sniper a whole lot in the matchup against Tech, and seeing various degrees of success on that. Do you think it's a benefit or a hindrance when he decides to go for that Sniper off-class pick?
I think it's a mixed bag. I think if your primary main caller is the one that's main classing, or is off-classing rather, it can be okay as long as you have someone else to, like kind of have the brunt of the responsibility for directing the team. And I think at this point, when you are this high up in invite, usually there's other people on the team that are experienced enough to be able to pick up the slack and not let the comms go silent and direct the team when the main person that's like doing a lot of the legwork is kind of off doing something separate to get the team going. And I think they kind of have that. Obviously, Gungan's on Pocket Scout. He has the experience from his G6 season, so I think their team is in good hands. But on paper, as like a concept, it can feel a bit sketchy. So it definitely shows a lot of confidence that Kev has in his team, and then vice versa to have your team operate like that, where you go for an off class. The only thing that can really screw them at this point, honestly, is predictability. Where if you do something way too much, like a classic is like, oh, this player plays so much spy that we are already paranoid anytime we see him respawn because we like are expecting it and don't want to get stabbed. And all of a sudden the play like worsens, or even maybe to a lesser degree like Sniper, like they're probably gonna have a sniper, and then you're slightly more prepared for it, more disciplined, able to try to spot it out and don't just run through and accidentally get an important class shot down dead. So that's the only thing that can hinder you, but even then that's like a really small hindrance.
Hearing from Kev in chat that it's going to be Speedy coming in to ring this match for the Covenant. Kev will not be here for it.
Oh, wow.
With that roster shakeup, you're losing your main caller, you're losing a powerful off-class on the Sniper pick. Do you think Speedy's going to be able to at least play par for the course in terms of filling Kev's shoes?
I think he'll be able to fill the shoes. It's going to be slightly different. Obviously, there's some synergy issues there with like being used to how the team is directed by certain players. Speedy, I think, is fully capable of being able to kind of direct the team. It's just down to the team to be prepared for whatever he's saying, or him being prepared to fill in what the team is used to. So I'm not worried about that. It's like they can swap fine. It's just a dynamic thing at this point. Which, if anything, it always kind of sucks to, replace a player last second. It can be really rough. But you can make it work so it's not like abysmal or anything. We'll just see how things change slightly. I mean, Speedy is maybe not as much of an off-classer as Kev, but he has his moments. He has some plays in his playbook. It's not just like, oh, I'm playing Pocket Soldier, He's a little bit dynamic that way, so I think it'll be fine for the most part.
Speaking of the off-class, we see Rikuso and Gungan playing some Sniper in the pregame. Without Kev there, who's it going to fall to off-class onto Sniper if the team calls for it? And at the same time, who do you think on the Covenant is going to be best suited to try to take that SVS and win it for their team?
Let's see. I feel like for the Dot the only snipers they're gonna have are their scout players. I mean, I guess no, it's a lie because we've technically seen Paul Dog sniper. He doesn't do it much, but he goes in occasionally. I don't think they're gonna think about it too hard. I think it's gonna be a thing for both these teams, or whoever coincidentally dies will just make the decision: am I off-classing or am I not? If they're feeling it or not, and then they go from there. So I don't think it's gonna be like I mean, maybe because you do have teams that like, okay, one person dies, let's send our sniper player to go back and change to sniper. I mean, you can't technically work it like that, but I'm not convinced that either of these teams are going to do that often.
Well, we have predictions up for people in chat. Shout out Banny for the big raid. Welcome everybody to the cast. This is the lower finals happening in just a moment. Jarrett, my question for you now is if you were to give a scoreline prediction with the Speedy sub coming in for Kev, what would you have map one be?
Let's see, process. Let me think. I'm trying to think back of all the times that I've played Process versus both these teams. I think going in with a normal roster, I feel like Dot Hogs would have it normally. They'd be a bit favored. But obviously, with my personal experience, playstyle comes into effect, and sometimes you're better at beating some things than others, so it can be a bit rough to like have that definitively stated. but I think it makes it easier for me to stay along that line of thinking with the sub in of Speedy last second, the synergy issues that might pop up. So I'll say like a 5-2 for the side of Dot Hogs.
5-2 for the Dot Hogs. There you have it. I believe we have ready up, getting into mid-fight number 1, the Covenant versus Greasy Dot Hogs in this lower finals. Getting in on the mid. Looks like Trip playing that high ground, Dingo looking for some spam. Things starting out slow as is expected, but really just a question of who's going to go in first. Looks like Paul Dog gets pretty weak, has to back off. It's going to be a double bomb from the Covenant soldiers getting onto Sin Karma. Trip finds the frag. Number 1 opening things up here, but he will go down now, and it is a 5v5. Dank a bit isolated from their team. Be slightly behind on Uber, but it likely won't matter too much, Jarrett, as this fight continues to fight a little slowly.
Yeah, they did a really good job of recognizing that Paul Dog was weak at that moment, and even though they didn't go for Paul Dog in particular, they knew there was not going to be any chance of any form of good counter-initiation coming out because he was unhealthy. Found Sin Karma alone, not quite near Dank, and that's going to be a really easy pick, but the lock and load comes out, hits Dank, unable to hit the pill, finally gets it, but the bomb comes in. Nice shot from the side of Sin Karma to take down Speedy. Going to lose Shamu in the process, though, so have to be careful about their health, and Dingo, he's so far in. They are going to lose Zam, though, and with losing 2, I think they're going to go ahead and back up. Criff might be on the move in IT already, making some noise through choke, and he's speed shotting in, finding the way onto Azen. Oh, and they are able to get this force.
What a beautiful force there by the soldier on the side of the Dot Hogs.
And they lose Dingo, too.
They get Dingo, which is like the bigger find, I think, them getting that Uber out. Maybe not bigger, but a very important frag nonetheless. Here's Speedy, though, trying to get in, equalize things. Uber-wise, Dank in a bit of trouble surfing away. The soldier still in pursuit. Almost cratering there, but finding the pack instead. Actually, Trip's going to get the frag on Rikuso, and a lot of people going down for the Dot Hogs, but they maintain their Uber ad, and we'll get this midpoint right back.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Getting all those kills plus the force, and even though you lost a couple people in the process, the late Rikusa death, it's really not going to matter. This Uber ad is really what you're looking for. And actually, they're just going straight in. They're banging on the fact there's going to be people caught, and they're not going to be a bit too aggressive, but actually, they're only going to get a little bit of damage. Maybe onto Speedy, 60 HP, but no, he's already in resup, so they really banked on the fact that they would not be really passive, but I think Covenant kind of saw that coming from a mile away. They probably thought that, like, oh, they're going to feel secure because we're down Rikuso, so they're not going to be that far back, but no, I think they were read like a book there, and now it's full ad for the side of the blue team.
Yeah, no off classes here. They want to work their way forward into lobby, and are going to use through under first, trying to rush right back in. Nobody staying to meet this onslaught. Dot Hogs kind of just doing the exact same thing that the Covenant managed to last Uber push, and just like that, Uber expended, and big ad for the Dot Hogs, but maybe some like more aggression there. Zam picks up the kill feed icon onto Paul Dog, and I don't know, they're kind of just backing off, playing safe here as Uber will come up for the Dot Hogs.
Yeah, they tried to dry that early just off the fact that they wouldn't be holding doors close because they were capping, but the bomb coming from Trip had good timing, and they're going for round 2, just bombing in Sin Karma. Nice pop out of Speedy, but he jumps around. They're not really quite following the right targets. They're able to trade, but on other sides of the map, Zam's going to fall. Trip's stuck in IT, but is unable to get anything, and Rikusa will be able to collect 2 there. So overall, you know, probably not what they were expecting when it came to popping straight into mid, or out of mid. Probably thought that maybe they catch some sort of combo player, but catching 3 people, a couple of them in IT, they'll take it. And they're starting this dry to try to get the force, and they will indeed succeed very quickly.
Yeah, almost picking up Dingo there as well. Rikusa does go down off of the force. It's going to be 50% now for the Dot Hogs. Still holding on to their second point, but down 2, have to be a bit careful. And Covenant will take this opportunity to work their way forward, out through choke for the Dot Hogs. Everything kind of proceeding as one would expect in a high-level game. Players being smart, and it hasn't seemed like there's been a lack of main calling for the Covenant yet, Jared. I don't know if you've seen anything. I haven't.
No, I think on one hand it might be a bit too early to tell, but it seems like they've been doing fine. But this Dot Hogs team is very, very eager to just pop into 2. They are okay with the leapfrog scenario. Even though they got 0 people here, I bet in their mind, like in their comms, they're content in some aspect. They really want the Covenant to screw up on their push out, and they're really banking on it. They immediately pop out through 1. They're on the way to get their choke.
The back Speedy's looking to contest. Now the frag's going to chase down the soldier.
There's 3 back though. That's supposed to be terrible. Gungan, pipe in the air, Crypt on the side of Azen. They brought too many people back. Communication issues galore as Dog, even though he didn't get the cap, he definitely did the work to make sure this post was in the red team's favor. 3 alive, 3v3. They see all this cap time. They want to poke and get in fast. The engineer has gone back to spawn, building a mini sentry because he can't get a normal gun up in time. They're getting damage on the Sin Karma, but Trip might have to give us life for this. And Shamu gets the cap. Sin Karma getting a couple post-round frags, and what capitalization the red team took off the fact that even though the back cap didn't work out, they really put the pedal to the metal and made sure they were able to collect all the people that were around the second point still in.
Yeah, I mean, Azen getting just caught out alone there. The Hogs worked their way forward with such dominance and maybe signs of a lack of main calling there, sending 3 people back. Maybe a bit of a misplay, but we're in on mid number 2. Hogs up 1-0. Covenant trying to get back into this.
Ooh, dang,
and Sam playing this side. Dog jumping in right onto Azen, hits 1 rocket. Won't find too much more. Speedy's in, gets Sin Karma. A big frag onto the Demo Man, open things up for the Covenant. Trying to find some frags back. Dog going in deep. Always just 1 health and goes down to Tank. He finds the arrow, but will die himself as Trip salvages. And the frag certainly in favor of the Covenant. Only 2 alive for the Hogs. Sam getting pretty weak, not able to chase down Rikusa, but will find Crypt here. That is a 1 mid-fight for the Covenant, Jarrett. And a really good play to get onto Azen like that.
Yeah, a bit sketchier this time for the side of the blue team, but another 1 mid. They definitely have the formula down where they're recognizing that whenever they get any form of aggressive, Dank is nowhere near Sin Karma. So they've just picked off Sin Karma both times. And, you know, taking that fight a little bit slow after you get that Domain pick and do dividends for the process mids. So it's definitely working out for now. I mean, there's signs of life from the sides of Hogs over these 2 mids, so they're, you know, they should be able to change some things up and try to claw their way back. But question 1 is in what method will they try, and question 2 is how successful will it actually be? And I guess there's a question 3 of how long will that whole ordeal take. Is so far blue team, and even though they don't have the round to their name, they still have the comfort of starting these rounds on their terms, on, you know, the opponent's side of the map. Is Uber's slowly reaching their conclusion to 100%. They already decided the sniper was going to be they're going to try to break this, but they found 2. The pedal to the metal has gone for the red team, and they've put 2 collected. They're trying to look for this force. They're peeking the choke. Blue team pretty passive, trying to support their sniper, but no scouts to deny. Have to immediately put duck into IT, and they've lost all the positioning on mid. Red team get this mid absolutely for free.
Yeah, that's a really good play there. Zam actually going to SMG, move down.
They're in,
Dog now also in trouble. Crypt trying to escape, won't be able to. Sam finds another frag with a quick headshot. Just like that, everyone in IT will get mulched, and the Uber is still in hand, but Hogs hightailing it out of here as Covenant works their way back in.
Yeah, free mid one way, free mid the other. A little bit too greedy. I mean, I don't blame them for trying to go for that force, but they just gave up a bit too much for it. You know, maybe miscommunication on who was going to be actually committing their life, or an accidental step too far forward. But it's even. Sniper on the side of Zam, Spy on the side of Shamu. Shamu's looking like he's ready to decloak, and he's actually walking up the stairs. We'll see what he's able to find. Trying to find any target. He wants the big one, and he's going to be able to get it. He is able to take down Azen. They lost to Rakuso, did indeed die and get sniped, but taking down the enemy medic is going to be really, really good for the red team. Speedy in, causing distraction, going behind inside lobby. Sin Karma left alone a little bit. Gungna wants this frag on the soldier now and able to take him down. Actually, no, it's Dingle that's able to pipe him down, as they're actually poking a bit into last. The red team backing up all the way to resupply, and that's going to give enough room for the second, for blue team to go ahead and retake second, despite losing their medic and all that.
Yeah, Zam's going to be playing the shutter door of Sewer, looking for a shot. Shamu's getting pretty darn weak there. Dank has to be careful tanking on Sin Karma right now, but really can't peek out because of that sniper threat. Now can work the way forward, and no Uber expended for the Hogs. It would have been catastrophic, honestly, if they had been forced to use there. Now trying to work their way. It looks like IT is the direction of choice, sending the flank through Sewer. Here is the Uber getting in, but out for the Covenant. No one is there to be fragged, and yeah, it's going to be another Uber leapfrog here in a moment.
Yeah, this is very much a deliberate choice. The amount of times that they, I mean, it makes sense because Zam is like in a sniping phase right now, so you don't want to try to take it slow against him. So that's probably maybe one of the reasons why, is because even if Zam died, he could always respawn it, right? So they're really definitely at this point banking on it. It's okay. We've got 0 people. It's fine. We'll find a way to make sure that they screw up, and that's red team's game plan for now. But taking it slow, actually Crypt is going to be able to get a 1v1 versus Speedy and come out on top. Rakusa supporting, but Zam able to snipe him through the shutter, and Crypt, I think he's out in no man's land. They're putting the damage on him, are going to be able to clean him up, but, you know, lost a little bit of health. Trib's actually in all alone, tried to go for a solo play, gets a rocket on a Dank, but it's not going to be quite enough. But Dog is going to fall from the pipe from Dingo.
Yeah, nice pipe there as well. Finding the direct, the Uber out
change?
now for Dot Hogs. Both teams going to be popping. Just scuffling around the point here, and not a lot of damage in the Uber, of course. A lot of players getting flashed. Dot Hogs trying to keep positioning here. Zam's still a threat. Zam getting pressured out now. Has to back off. Shamu working the way forward. Speedy is very weak. Gonna find some heals now behind Brock. Duncan up top. Creeps going in. Getting on to the combo area here, and Dot Hog, excuse me, are gonna pick up 2 and work their way forward now, Jared.
Yeah, Speedy coming with the flank though. The timing is a bit off. He's a bit alone. Who's gonna fall to the side of Trip, Speedy as well, and there's frags all around, but oh, the shot from Zam, hello, on the Fall Dog. What a fiend.
What a fiend. But isn't going down there. Crypt finding the frag. Paul Dog saying, you are insane, because that was kind of a nutty shot. A 6K from Zam on Sniper. We'll see what he responds onto. Gungan coming up on Engineer, trying to get a defensive gun in place. Wouldn't be too surprised to see another off-class here. It's actually going to be Speedy onto Spy, probably just checking, and Zam staying on Sniper. So Zam has really chosen now to be the sniper for the Covenant, and Dot Hog's not really opting to use it, but we have an Uber coming in, Jared.
Yeah, in through one, immediately going straight for the gun, recognizing there's no more frags over on this left-hand side of the map, able to take it, getting some cap time, double shoulder bomb in on the scout and them a little bit, mixed damage. They didn't really focus fire on the target. There's 3 people red health on the side of the red team, but no frags to call for their for themselves. 60%, no Uber coming in time, able to get a couple frags though, finding the damage, a miracle, getting a kill in Nest, I think, at least one, and that's going to be enough. No soldiers available for the side of the red team to continue to push forward, and that's going to be it for the last push. It started off so well, but back half, Rakuso, I didn't even see that. If I don't see an eye bird's eye view, how are they gonna see that?
Exactly. That's 2 now. Pack caps, really. The first one technically failing, but opening everything up. The second one very clean, very well done. That is a quick 2-0. Maybe not a quick, but an early 2-0 now for the Dot Hogs on map number 1 in the slower finals. Jared, I'll let you take us through this mid as we get into it.
Yeah, the mental test begins. We'll see how red team begins to change up their mids. While they are leading in rounds, I'm sure they'd very much like to start on the opponent's half of the map after this round, but no initiation quite yet. There's some fake bombs, but not really committing. They just want to draw some eyes. The Karma is actually getting pretty weak, committing maybe a bit. Trip is actually going to give up his life. Didn't fully commit on him, so Karma's going to get aired up. Shamu a bit weak though, has to be careful, can't really deny, but after losing Trip in that endeavor onto the demo did not really work out. Blue team is just going to go ahead and back up, and red team will just take this off a, a well-executed bait of making sure that they can keep their demo men alive for once, but double sword bomb in. A's up in the sky.
He's in!
But the rocket comes still, and he dies at 97%, unable to pop to save himself. They gave up both their soldiers, but I'm sure with a mid-win, holding their Uber, taking down the enemy medic, I'm sure that Dot Hogs are well and okay with that outcome.
Yeah, I mean, that is the ideal outcome there to get to win. Here is the counter sack, trying to come forward. The blue soldier not finding anything. Trip might be number 1 in our hearts, but can't find the number 1 most important frag there. Doesn't get the force. And it'll be now Dot Hogs trying to get in onto the second point. Rakusa from lower IT. Paul Dog and Karma just getting into position, making sure there's no entryway for the Covenant, who have opted for a Zam Engineer here and nothing else on the off-classes, Jarrett. And it's just going to be a push in through 5 for the Dot Hogs.
And they've read that there's no sniper player. They checked, they saw it was Zam on Engineer, I guess, and figured that they'd be greedy enough to walk through 5. This Uber's lasting so long, but they've been disconnected. Dank was healing no one for way too long. I think they just misunderstood what they actually wanted to go for. Are you attacking right climbing? Are you going for point? Are you just hard crossing left? And that's just going to be a full wipe. I don't think they really had the same idea past just milking through 5, and that's just going to mean blue team loses absolutely no one, blocks 2 spawns, can probably 6v4 in the mid for free unless, something crazy happens from the side of the red team, and maybe even just use this Uber ad for second.
Yeah, they really want to keep this Uber in hand, and with Dank taking so much damage, has to back away, and that's basically the .1 back for the Dot Hogs. Perfect, for the Covenant, a perfect situation for them, as they now get to walk into 2. That's just going to be an aggressive Uber, though. Dingo trying to work his way forward. Dot Hogs do kite away from all of this damage, though. Karma and Paul Dog both peeking through rollout right now. Gungan will find a nice shot onto Paul Dog, not enough to kill, though. And Cap will come through, but full Uber now in a moment for the Dot Hogs.
Seems like Covenant's okay with leapfrogging as well, so we'll see how this kind of turns out. They have found themselves on the enemy teams too, which is pretty good for them, but red team, full Uber, they're in lobby ready to jump out. They want to do the same. Sin Karma's ready to go. He has a sticky down, jumping through the air. Ubered.
Oh.
Everyone's kind of out of the choke though, but you miss your jump sometimes. Gets a little bit of damage into the choke, but not enough to actually claim a kill. Everyone from the side of the Covenant is pretty much out of there. I think both these teams at this point are kind of expecting a lot of these insta-bombs, but they're at 75, they're in sewer, they're getting ready. They see the ×8, they know that doors aren't stuffed, they're thinking about it, drawing early, making sure that they can make the most of their ad as they possibly can. They've shown their hand a lot inside sewer to try to pressure out, but no really committing. Paul Dog is up on the trapezoid, and Crips spamming from IT, but fake maybe from Paul Dog.
Yeah.
Just faking around, buying some time to maybe get their own Uber of their own. They bought like 20% here for the side of the red team, but finally they will commit. They're popping Aza into the corner, able to get this force. Losing Sin Karma though. Gungan was really, really aggressive. They lost Paul Dog as well. A force buff for what? Losing your Doman? I'm just gonna dry down with 25% left to go with the red team. They have to really hold on as best they can. They can't block the point. They have to set up a nest, but they're gonna lose Crypt as well. Only 3 left alive. Rakusa in the shutter, but he has to be able to get on the point. They don't have mobility. He's just getting melted. They're finally on top of the point, but Dank dies at 98%. Dank unable to get his Uber in time. First 97 for Azen, and now 98 for Dank. Now we all have to wait is for the 99% death from one of these medics as Covenant, they put themselves on the board.
Yeah, and after 99, I mean, are we just going to be seeing a
We'll
bunch
just
of
be
drops?
seeing drops. We'll just
Yeah.
The snipers will be hitting the shots they need to after that.
Oh, no Highlander tonight, please. That's tomorrow night. There certainly will be Highlander action tomorrow, but we are in on mid-fight number 4. Hog still maintaining a 2-1 lead, a 1-point lead. Playing this right side a little slower here. Trip going to be in. Speedy also getting forward. And good damage. Trip is going to go down. Paul Dog finding the frag. Speedy behind. Gungan also falling. Rikuso on the medic. And Rikuso goes huge to pick up 2, including Dingo. It's just Sam alive. And can Sam be the hero? Does not look like it. A full team wipe. Hogs read the playbook, understand what they need to do, and execute very well there.
Yeah, they not only did they execute well, but Covenant, you can see that they're trying to go with their idea, but that execution was not it from them. They dropped Sin Karma to 6 HP, and maybe if you kill that Doman, it can be a little bit of a different fight. Maybe it can allow you to like poke onto 2 a bit more to like go for a crazy sniper play or something. Not that much, but you know, it can really suck to do that much damage and then and just kind of see that you were so close yet so far away. So they're really sticking to their strategy, but I think Hogs have kind of bought into it and like recognize what's going on, and now they're in a pretty good spot, going through 1. They want to just take the super, maybe milk it.
Sam.
No, immediately going in.
The sniper is the threat there. Good pressure onto point early on, speeding up in the air. Sam is up on heavy now, but no one's touching.
So much cap
Oh, the damage is insane right now. Covenant looking to hold on. Looks like they'll be successful here. Rikuso and Crypt both gonna fall. And it is an escape now for the Hogs. Gungan looking to chase! And
Gets 2, one of them Dank. Crazy play. From the side of Hogs, I mean, they had some decent cap time, but I think way too many people were on the point for way too long. A lot of damage came through, immediately melted 2 of them, so they really went all in there, and it did not really work out. Lost Dank in the process is going to mean that mid's going to be actually pretty hard to hold. They barely have their team here. Blue team's kind of working their way through a bit slow, just making sure there's not sort of any hiders or shenanigans, but they're finding someone maybe. Paul Dog a bit weak, but no. Trip just gives up his life, but they're going in. They've lost both their soldiers, able to take down Sin Karma, trading 2 explosives as well. So, I mean, I think if you're red team, you're kind of okay with that. You know if you delay this point long enough, that Sin Karma will be back before the soldiers even get there. So they're taking height on top of the point, just willingly, maybe even giving up their lives. Okay. Oh my god, so much damage on the gun. No! They leave Dank alone! They really have to wipe them now. They have to go all for this play. Rakusa's on a rampage right now. They have to take down Azen, Junie dying as well, and they lose their medic, but it definitely was a good play from the side of the red team to recognize that, hey, it's okay. If they go for Dank, you know, we will still be able to win this. So they definitely play it right.
Tank saying, was it worth it, Sam? Was it? And Sam says, you are alone, free. I don't know, Dank using some naughty language in in-game chat. Can't show that.
There's a lot of keyboard warriors in this server right now.
Yeah.
There are many.
But tension's running high, the players are heated. We have some spy on the side of Rikuso coming forward here. Running Invis Watch. I think he just ate a rocket and he might be spotted for it.
Maybe. This is a good spy timing at least, because you're not wondering why they're doing nothing, because you know you figure they're gonna go ahead and build their Uber, but it might have just been spam. Trip maybe didn't see. I'm not really sure. It doesn't look like they're that paranoid, but it doesn't matter. Does indeed fall.
Yeah. Thoughts on running Invis Watch rather than Cloak and Dagger? I feel like it's a miss.
You might as well just do Cloak and Dagger, honestly. Make sure the timing's right. Sometimes your team can't spam for you right when your cloak is ending, and you really want that sort of distraction, you know? You want people to be looking at your team so that they're not just all wandering around like, you know, distracted, getting ammo, rotating, etc., etc. So the timing's really important. But ooh, direct hit. Paul Dog. He really wants to spam down a gun.
We've seen some DH action over the last 2 days, the last 4 matches of playoffs. Do you think there's something to be said for its utility here in a last push situation?
It's way better to spam down guns. You just have to be really confident that you're going to be able to utilize it in all the other situations. You know, it's not used because of the lack of ability to spam, but if you're really feeling it and you think that you're going to be able to hit directs onto players after the gun that just stands completely still is dead, then by all means, go for it. And look at Paul Dog. He's hitting rockets onto Trip. Trip is like pretty much out of there.
Almost goes down. Shamu picks up Gungan. We had the sniper v sniper, and Shamu wins it. Speedy getting very weak as well there, but we'll find some heals. Paul Dog using the DH, getting the dispenser.
Oh, Sin Karma, too far in. Trip's gonna be able to get him.
Oh, but dies for it. Shamu on a 2K with the sniper. DH definitely missing a lot of shots there.
Oh, Shamu's in. He's at their spawn. He does indeed die, though. Gungan on the respawn. They're actually losing a lot. They've lost 3, maybe even Crypt. No one's chasing him, too. Needs an arrow. And this is going to be free push out for the side of blue. Crypt might be able to go for something. Spams it last, though. He's trying to go for the point, but he's not really going to go on a whole lot of follow-up, so just has to jump out. And, you know, pretty ambitious from the side of the red team, but losing one too many players means that they're going to have to concede too, and blue team just takes it for free. So we're still in a stalemate scenario, but without the off classes, just a little bit of different scenery this time around, but ball is still in the red team's court.
Yep. Oh, Crypt is going to get Sam right in the shutter. We're going down for it as well. Speedy will fall too, so 2 go down for the side of Covenants, and now they have to be careful because Dothogs want to work their way in. It is even Ubers. Dog jumping up, getting some spam in. Shrimp is the target.
Ragusa's in. On to
Ragusa! The Force. Good job there to get the Uber out. Now Dothogs full ad, only down 1. Can just waltz in here and get ready to push into last. They don't even have to use yet. They will save it. Or yeah, it is totally free. So we will see Dothogs attempt another last push with full ad. Gungan up on Sniper. Zam on Engineer. We've seen a couple of different people opting for the Sniper class so far. Jarrett, who do you think's best suited for it?
I think probably Zam if he's feeling it, but I mean, whoever spawns first needs to come up Engineer, so it's built all the way if it needs to. This is only level 2. It's going to get taken down pretty quickly. I think Sin coming missed a couple of stickies, but a lot of cap time coming from the soldiers. They're just bombing on top of the point, immediately going back to get the soldiers on the floor. Trip will finally fall. They've lost a couple in return, though. They really have to get the damage in. Sin will get the kills, but it's not really going to be quite enough. Shamu, he's on his last legs. Dank's able to take down Zam, but he's definitely going to die for it. I mean, maybe he can get this kill on the Gungan. Not quite, though.
I mean, Aizen does go down there. I think it was Crypt gets the frag, so not the end of the world. The last push does fail, but it won't be any massive ad for either team. Maybe looking at like 15-20%.
Just drawing off heals right now, though. They know that all these players on 2 for the red team will never be buffed until way too late, so they're just out here. They're trying to flood through now, but they already have positioning on the height and able to put some damage into the choke, but maybe not enough. Speedy dropping 7 AP will find Trip trying to follow up, getting some damage onto the red players at choke, but they're unable to collect these kills. They only kill Paul Dog, so I think there are at least 3 different players who are half HP in Rakuso. He's still going in, able to take down Zam. Will die to the bleed from the side of Zam, though I think he was hit with an ornament, but the blue team, like, yes, you take positioning on 2, and yes, you try to cap that, but they really just failed at preventing red team from just waltzing in, and the focus fire wasn't there either. So many people could have been cleaned up. There's so much potential of the fact that it was a drive-through choke immediately, but no capitalization. So the failed execution brings them right back to last with an ad, but not quite enough to use.
Yeah, won't be able to just go right in off of this Uber charge. Time quickly ticking away. We're at 6:30 left to play before continuous overtime. And this, of course, is just map 1 of this best of 3 map game. Zem, Sniper, Gungan, Engineer. Gun is on, gonna be right on point here. Gungan moving it. Uber is now evened up, and Dingo hitting the nice lock and load.
Literally ramp to ramp.
Beautiful. Truly.
Well, that's your quote-unquote sack. I'm sure he was just peeking, but
Trip counter sack.
Oh, Crypt in. He's
Paul
finding
Dog
the
has
opening
the DH.
on Aizen. The gun, though, he misses his rocket because the gun pushes him away.
gets it.
So much going on.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, sacks one way, sacks the other. Both teams down a player. DH there, kind of a bad melee weapon if you're not hitting your shots.
They have the sniper poking out of one. They really want to try to nail Sin Karma if possible. They're not going to be able to hit Dank because Dank's never going to peek it, but Sin Karma has to kind of hold his door. But they give up. They recognize that all the players have respawned and are back to 2, so their opening is a bit gone. So still up to the red team to try to break it in. They have the sniper looking through 4 to see if they get inside lobby at all, and it looks like that might be the play for them. Try to get in lobby in some way, maybe to get the spam out of the gun through 5, or at least like pester through 3 and 4. They're getting Trip kind of out of there. He's a bit weak, has to get healed up. Sniper support is a little bit coming in, but you can only peek so far. It's actually the red soldiers are so weak, you have to full reset. They're retreating out of lobby.
Zam took a very aggressive peek there. I don't think he hit the shot, but still opting for this defensive sniper. And yeah, things will stabilize one more time here as Dothogs heal up, as you said, and now looks like they want to play maybe through rollout here, setting both their soldiers up in that area, just getting the spam onto the gun.
Gungan just dies to spam. He just ate so much, it was double soldier, one of them DH ate some splash, and I think that's going to be all she wrote. So now the gun is even easier to kill, but they've rotated, they stayed at the same door, and now they're going to lose Paul Dog, Speedy rotating over. They're trying to kill him, but Rakuso goes in and able to collect that kill. Crips spamming from 5, wants this gun, it will die. Needs to get healthy if they want to just go in and sack, but no, Shamu wants to Uber. Able to find Dingo, unhealed, unable to be used on, definitely surprised coming out of the red team, and is going to catch the blue team off guard as Covenant. They're down 2 for this post, they have the heavy passive, and they can try to play this the best they can, just buy a little bit of time. Speeds up in just a second. Good damage from
isolated.
Faking on the Sin Karma, able to push him back and make sure he can't immediately run over the team. There's only a couple more seconds of Dingo's left alive, and I think red team, they have to win now or just cancel. They're finally jumping in. Maybe just go for a sack instead. Everyone's red HP. They have a soldier and Nest, but he's going to clean up potentially. Bombing in on Aizen, unable to see where the damage is coming from, but is only going to be able to get out 1 rocket, and Blue lives to fight another day. Overall going to be a 2-man sack, and this is looking like a drive from the side of the blue team once they heal up. I mean, it's a small window, but it's definitely usable if you so desire. It looks like 1's going to be the door choice. Oh, it's stuffed though a bit.
Yeah, getting forward as best they can, but as you said, getting stuffed. Dingo gets some heals now, and Zam and Trip playing that flank area pretty well at the moment. Crypt looking to deny, and Covenant has to back right up. Dothogs do not lose any players. They're coming up on their own Uber. It's even with 3 to play before continuous overtime, Jarrett. And
20 seconds, Uber exchange time.
Oh yeah, you gotta go in.
Now the sniper backing up into spawn. They got a lot of space here. They've pretty much taken the left side of the map with the heavy and the shutter. Blue team ending over on their own right-hand side. Rakuso peeking the point a little bit. They gotta block it. Able to get a pipe on him. They've lost 2, but they got a lot of cap time. Shamu on it, and they don't get there in time. They blocked at the first line of defense show up to make sure those red players were unable to get onto it, but not quite enough for the second line of defense to really shove Shamu off as he pretty much gave up his life for it. So really good play coming out of the red team. They were kind of forced to go for that, even though they didn't really want to, but they definitely made the most of it, and it pays off. They get the reward for it, so back to another mid.
In on another mid, 3-1 for the Greasy Dothogs so far on their map pick. They're seeing the early damage onto Shamu. He has to be a little careful here. Dothogs rotating around together. The demo man, Sin Karma, he's kind of shut all the way. So it's a 6v5 now. Dank isolated, half health, has to be careful. Trip getting onto Paul Dog, but Zam finds the kill first. And Crypt in a lot of trouble here, and the rest of the team is as well. Out go the Dothogs. Rakuso still kind of trapped in. Sin Karma just narrowly avoiding death, but not for long. He gets chased down by Gunkin. Rakuso looking for the 1v1, can't win it when Speedy comes in to help. And that is a 1 mid for Covenant with 150 remaining in this map.
I kind of like what Covenant did. They put the pressure on Sin Karma enough to make him fear for his life, and then they ignored him. Sin Karma was so convinced that because of the past couple mids that he was going to be the target, that once he got damaged, he didn't just sit and wait for an arrow. He like left completely. But oh, Shamu, he's able to get the force. I'm talking about mid, but meanwhile the force happening in 5. This is not the Uber. They want a Dank just inside spawn. Sure, Speedy's up in S, going to be able to trade with Criff, but 1-for-1 exchange, like giving up an Uber, that's definitely not what you want if you're the side of the blue team, especially after such a good like transition and making your mids work again. So now they just have to wait for Cripp to spawn. They're already in lobby. They look like they want to just bomb out through lower again with Sin, but oh no, they're actually taking it slow.
Taking it a bit slow. Really unfortunate there for the side of Covenant. They needed to keep the tempo rolling there and get in properly, but unable to with a good force by the scout. Trip dead, and no Uber expended by the Dothogs means Covenant out to mid and maybe further. They're going to play I expect a little passive here as they still don't have the Uber in hand. Jarrett, Rakuso, and his team working their way forward and, yeah, just pressuring out the side of the Covenant.
Especially if Trip's gone. Trip is like their primary I mean, obviously because he's playing Roamer, right? But he's like their primary source of trying to get forces. So if he's already dead, then, you know, I'm not too surprised you just kind of give it up and don't go for a Hail Mary. It could just turn into accidental feeding, which you definitely don't want. You can play it safe here, back up. Just accept what happened and stalemate here on 2 and try to dig yourself out of this hole that you found yourself in. As we're 15 seconds left until it hits infinite overtime. We're hitting infinite overtime. So they
for sure.
They definitely can't let anything go wrong here, but it's going
Good
wrong. They sent
job by
both
the
soldiers. If one living, no, okay, Polldog is gonna indeed die. He's on the pain train right now. He's ready. He's ready for the back caps if his team needs it. But no soldiers does mean that there is maybe a little bit room to poke. They have to make sure they're not accidentally around a corner, but you know, they found that they're passive on the crates. They're working their way through. Trips in, same with both the scouts from the side of the Covenant. They have a small window here, but immediately running forward. They lose Kuso, able to take down Azen. Sin Karma jumps forward and kills the enemy medic. Dingo, really weak as well. Scattered down to the side of Shamu, but Sin Karma left on just a tad. Really weak, is going to clean up at the side of Gungan. As the red team is a little bit scattered right now. They have to combine themselves together and group up, but they failed to do so. I think because everyone went every which way from the side of the blue team, it was very difficult to figure out where you were going to actually end with your team. They're trying to fight Zam right now, 1v1. They've been able to escape the other team, and they actually found themselves back on the correct side of mid. They really wanted to chase them into sewer and just kind of read them like a book and just walk straight through the choke instead. So what a heads-up play from the side of the red team. Shamu and Dank in particular to actually make sure they could dodge literally all 3 remaining players on the side of the blue team to keep Dank alive, preserve what little ad they have now, and now they can even start to dry off of Zam's death. Rakusa's just in through IT. They're bombing in already.
Bombing in. Trip in trouble here. Just down to 50 health. Dothogs in control. If they win this, they win the map. We'll move on to map 2. And we have Zam up on heavy weapons guy for now. It's going to be in. No one touching the cap.
They need a miracle right now.
Coming in. Heavy is the target, but no one will touch. And the Covenant will lose map 1. Dothogs winning 4-1. And we will be going to a quick break before taking a look at logs, but what a performance by the Dothogs.
For sure. I think it ended really nicely with it wasn't just like a silly backhand, but it was a really heads-up play to make sure that you could preserve what little you had left to really drive it home.
With that, we are going to go to a quick break and then come back for logs and map number 2. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the cast. We're here for the lower finals. After that quick break, we are going to take a look at logs. My name's Godfather Jared on the mic with me, Dolphin behind the scenes. And a quick shout out to everyone who has followed and subbed. That is greatly appreciated. Helps support us as casters. But Jarrett, we have logs up on stream after that 4-1 victory for the Greasy Dot Hogs. What are you seeing?
I am seeing a stream delay. Although I think the big thing that immediately comes into my mind before I even look at the logs is probably the mids. It started off well for the Covenant, and then it kind of swung back and forth. But it definitely wasn't shown in a lot of the gameplay. So I think that reminder of like the mids, you know, there were some moments where it was good for one team, then it swapped to the other, then it kind of swapped back. Kind of shows that it was more about a lot of the transitions that were happening. That it was like, you know, making sure you could maintain your Uber really well. I still don't see the logs on my side monitor, so I will alt tab.
All right, I will take us through them for now until you're back. One thing I noticed is far fewer deaths on the side of Dang. But top kills going to Zam, 21, Junie with 20, Shmoo picks up 18, as does Gungan. Top damage, he's just 283 from Dingo on Demoman Trip, finding 238, Crypt 235, so maybe not the highest damage and fragging game, but definitely some solid performances all around. Sin Karma also picked up 2 air shots. Love to see it. Good for the show. Anything sticking out to you though, Jared?
I think probably the big thing is they outdamaged them. The Covenant outdamaged Hogs by like 4k, but lost this hard. Which definitely, like, if you kind of think back on it, it makes sense a little bit realistically when you saw like so many times that like, oh my god, there's so much damage and so many like red health players on the side of Dot Hogs, but no one's dying. Is that type of deal where maybe the focus fire is a bit off, or like everyone's like kind of doing their own thing, they're initiating on their own target, so they do tons of damage but like don't actually get the kills necessary. But that's not even necessarily true because they have more kills, but then again, the sacks worked really well for the side of Covenant, or for the side of Dot Hogs for a lot of the game, so maybe that stat is a little bit skewed. But it definitely shows that there's like a gameplay aspect that's a little bit wrong there. Like the DM is on point and they're putting up a good fight from the side of the Covenant, but you know, I guess maybe it was a process thing or maybe just like a team thing, but you know, the Dot Hogs are holding together like glue, and it's paying off well. And I'm kind of excited to see how that's going to work out for Granary, because Granary is their pick.
Yeah, this is going to be other team's map pick here. I'm wondering if it is a bit of lacking Kev that is slowing things down here. Speedy coming in and subbing, but Kev the main caller for his team, and so not having that there. Anyway, we do have predictions up for chat, so put those in. And
we're live.
Like, yeah, we're getting live here.
I say 3-1 Dot Hogs.
I say
Granary doesn't go to
5-3 Dot Hogs.
You think Granary's going to 5?
I think we get a high-scoring game here. I want this to go fast.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens as both Dome and have a ride to mid, both going catwalk, both getting on top of the crates, pretty aggressive. Immediate high bomb coming from the side of the crypt, but Sin Karma's gonna die. Trip able to take him out, and overall they've lost 2 immediately from the side of the red team. They're finally getting their way onto the mech, able to take down Aizen, but that seems like that's gonna be the only kill they get. So, I mean, this is kind of how the Dot Hogs play mids. Obviously, I just played them on Granary. They sell out for the enemy medic and just keep tank alive. And, you know, they've done that. Maybe gave up a little bit too much and not gotten quite as much as they probably wanted, as they're probably going to have to completely concede yard, and at least they can hold on to 2. They have the players there in time, but overall it's like, it's kind of hard to say who really won mid. Like the blue team won mid, but you know, they're going to get shoved out pretty quickly.
They get the point, but no Uber in hand. It's almost full now for the Dot Hogs, and they're working the way into yard early now, rotating around this left side, and it will be a repush to mid, going straight through main, it looks like. And we'll see what the Covenant has in store for them. The jumper's coming out, the Uber is used, and Trip gets weak, will get gunned down by Shmoo there. Help from Paul Dog. Paul Dog now kind of in behind, right onto Aizen now. One rocket, not hitting the second, not hitting the third. Aizen was in trouble there, but it's not going to end up being too bad. Now Shmoo comes in, but Dank dying to Zam on the other side of things, and now Dingo and Gungan finding frags for their team, so Covenant right back into this fight. Dot Hogs trying to cap the point, but they're not going to have a lot of players. Dingo is dead, as are so many others. Jarrett, who's going to win this fight?
It's definitely, with Shamu 11 HP, it's definitely the blue team. And you know what? You know who the silent MVP was? The silent MVP was Speedy. because he went behind, dragged 2 players back, kept them back, didn't die, and that's what created the player advantage that the blue team was trying to push off of, even though they just lost Trip in the Uber. So that definitely does not go that way if the Doghogs get to like put their entire team on mid and actually properly lock down all these doors. But because they, you know, had to leave a couple open, that was enough to make sure that people were able to get through, and that's could be the reason why Zam was able to find a way to get himself on the Dank.
Ubers are going to be even after both meds did die there. Looks like the side of the Covenant want to take this in now. Speedy picking up Crypt is a good opener. Dingo is playing isolated.
Oh, Rikuso back cap. He's going for it.
Yeah, that's a
drop
free.
down.
No one can touch in time. Zam's going to be trying to run back, but this should be
The 1v1.
in time. Oh!
Oh my god, he two-shot on Rikuso.
That's not today!
He's nasty
And now
with
he can
it.
just keep going. Zam says cringe, but Rikuso's looking for a big play here to get all the way back. Everyone's going to be just chasing him down. There will be the
It's Trip's
spawner.
turn now.
Yeah.
Oh, he actually, Rikuso's recognizing that he can't actually get it, because they're going to go all the way back, and now he just wants to leave drop down.
Oh.
He wants to go drop down again, and he's
What
going
is
to
this?
actually escape. Drop
Oh,
down twice.
no,
Oh
the
no, the
trap.
traps! I didn't see the stickies. Okay. Dingo's a little bit too 5-head for that. They caught him
Yeah.
that time. Still, it drastically changed the
Uber's
course
going
how
to
it's
be
going,
in,
but
take popping later. A better Uber here for the Doghogs if they can find a little bit of damage play positioning well, but Covenant actually taking all the positioning, getting back onto the point. And Doghogs will be back into their yards, and Karma getting some heals here, Jarrett. But, I mean, what a marathon there from the scout to go for that back cap.
it was good, but I think the late
Also,
recent
Shamu's by.
death of Shamu was the nail in the coffin, because you already lost Rikuso because he gave up his life to go do stuff behind him by time, but when Shamu died, you don't fight that with you don't fight that post
Was he
with
not
any scouts,
spotted?
but
What is that?
no, he was. I think they realized they bumped him, and then they started like backing up and shooting around. I think they're aware that there's a spy at this point, but
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
He
Is
goes
Shamu
back to
going
spawn.
back? Yeah.
Yeah.
They recognize it.
Will he come up sniper?
Probably not. He maybe
No,
technically.
okay.
He needs to run back here in time, but Sin Karma just gets 3. Hello?
Never mind.
You
That
gotta
is.
You gotta pressure the red demo when you try to break into yard, and that's just gonna mean they have to concede mid completely. The execution of that. I mean, maybe they felt really confident because like, oh, they have a spy, so their scout isn't able to stop us, so we are free to like have more room. But you still gotta like, someone's gotta shoot this demo. No one shot him.
No one shoots him. He gets 3. Sounds correct to me. Rikuso is again behind. Oh, wanted the 1v2. Won't find it. Effectively a sack there for the Doghogs. And Gungan will die on the other side of things. Even Uber's Jarrett. Who's going to go in first here?
I think they're probably gonna go for the red team going in. They see the opening, Gungan
Oh,
dead,
it's-
popped into the air. Yeah, there's one less scout to deny that bomb, and he's able to get in, but only 1 rocket to his name. But Sin Karma dying to Speedy, that's going to be huge for the side of the blue team Covenant. They have some incentive to move on now, but red team got to figure out which door they're going through. Trips at choke, they could Uber exchange through Cat and try to break their way through, or just
He's
jump
going for a
around.
jump here right on
Dank
Dank.
alone.
1 rocket. Oh, a good use there by Dank. That was certainly going to be a drop if he hadn't popped. 2 die on the sack, but full Uber for the Covenant now. And things are looking up for them as the score is still 0-0. I thought this map might go fast, and I'm eating my words. We'll be lucky to see you around anytime soon at this rate.
Yeah, that's Granary for you. Another Granary special is, well, I guess Pollock fell off the light, so never mind. But the Uber comes out, actually. They see him close enough, and they're ready to go. They're able to get Pollock, still chasing down to the garage. They kill Rikuso as well. Crypt is behind. I think he was another person that was with Rikuso was going for a play, but overall will get cleaned up by the side of Trip. Is blue team only lost Speedy and are able to collect 3, so that's going to be a really good Uber from them, making sure they're able to collect mid. But because they did not get Dank, which is probably a trend, like it's Dank, like I said in the very beginning, his plays pretty safe, pretty passive. It's not really worth actually trying to go for him, and it's worth it to go for other players. You know, they still have, you know, something in the tank to try to work their way back into mid, but now it's the blue team's turn to see if they want to go behind or anything like that. But judging by the positioning, I'm not so sure
Uber.
that's the case.
Going to be out now for the
Dingo,
Doghogs.
too far forward.
Yeah, I've seen the demos playing pretty isolated from their medics all throughout this match. How's that impacting these teams?
Granary's really hard on demo, realistically, to find the space to be able to stand in a safe slot, but also be able to participate. But 2 dead from the side of the blue team. They're trying to collect some frags at the Super, maybe find their way onto Dank. Speedy 1 rocket, he's around the corner, look at Zam, able to get him around the corner, get Dank, then Sin Karma, and now Shamu, it will be his turn to die. Only 2 are left alive, both in garage on the red team, backing up, preserving their lives to live to fight another day.
They will, in fact, live, and Uber Ad will be for the Covenant here. Bulldog coming up on Sniper. And he's going to be up in that forward spawn here, I believe, just sitting there for now.
Yeah. Really locking down this side of yard.
Not anymore. Gonna swap off. Doesn't think it's worth it, and gets back onto cookie cutter classes.
Because
I think maybe just the timing wrong. Yeah.
Because the ad is so small, if they do use the Uber to break into yard, Polog wants to be able to be ready to be on Soldier for if they want to like pop back in or something, you know? Because it's not they don't have to wait that long until they get an Uber of their own. Maybe if the disaddle's bigger, he'd be willing to go for it. But I think he made a good choice. And there's popping through choke.
Oh,
they
might trap out
uncharacteristic.
Deleted by Dingo. Duncan also finding some frags. What an aggressive Uber to go in with, and it works out very well. Now, this Soldier trying to make a hero play cannot get it. Cap's going to come through. 3 down, no heals for the Dot Hogs and Covenant. They're on their map pick. They're getting into last year. Shamu is going to be lurking up top, trying to contest the scout. Players getting on to point now. Who's going to be able to touch anyone? No! Covenant will find the first round here, Jarrett. What really, I mean, other than the 3-man, what allowed that 3-man death there?
I think it was just the uncharacteristic, they probably thought that their ad was smaller than it was, and they were really confident, like, oh, we're at this, so they must not have yet, and they were just wrong. Otherwise, I feel like they would have been more passive as a team in the Shutter. They were just poised like that as a preventative measure to make sure that they didn't dry in early or anything, but ended up biting them. I think maybe mistiming of the counting the Uber will be the thing that sends it to their death. But bomb coming in for the next mid, immediately on Aizen. A lot of damage onto him. 26 HP. Still alive for now though, backing into the choke. They've lost too many though. It's still a successful mid.
Very successful mid to pick up 3 there, just in Paul Dog as the lone consolation prize. Working their way forward onto the second point. Aizen's still not full health, has to be careful. Wants to avoid spam. Now the Soldier right onto them. The Uber is forced out. Red does not have yet, and they've actually dropped 3. So they've got to hightail it out of here. Keep that Uber building. Now coming up on it, Speedy might be looking for a jump to try to get a force.
Yeah, that play from Crypt comes in 2 seconds later, and the Uber can be used to potentially save some people, and they can hold on to yard, but maybe miscommunication on when they were actually like able to use it as a tool. And although you could argue that, you know, Crypt, he had his timing and he had to go for it, so his hands were tied, and it was either that or nothing. But Uber comes in, trying to go for the air shot on Crypt, will be unsuccessful. Polog actually might give up his life, but no, flash at the last second. Zam still running around, but will get sticky down. Speedy behind, Crypt trying to chase him. They have to respect the back cap. Don't think he's on pain train or anything, but
yeah, Crypt's gonna have to
they
go
didn't
back.
even have mid, so it's not even a back cap, it's just him being a nuisance, just existing back there.
Gremlin. Here is the Soldier jumping forward. That's Trip trying to get in onto Sin Karma. Did a good job, but didn't find enough damage. And 10 minutes have been played here. We got Rikuso up forward. Zam is going to be contesting here, and Zam won't be able to win it again. Rikuso is just demolishing these 1v1s. It looks like he might get out. No way, he lives here?
He's just running around. He's trying to figure out where he wants to go. Last time he went drop and it got him killed. Oh, it's a trap. He guessed wrong. Dingo is very, very good at trying to figure out where Rikuso is trying to slide around into.
The way he wins. Oh.
And doesn't win this one. Gonna be able to take him down, but
speaking of behind, Speedy is on the medic here in just a moment.
Oh yeah, he's been behind this whole time. They never really able to get him.
He's right there.
He's just in. They knew though. They knew that his existence was there, but it bought some space. They poked around a bit. They able to get to the big shutter. They have to spam Sin Karma backwards. Getting a little bit of support now. They're trying to really run him. He's 42 HP. Eats an arrow, and Dingo really weak. Zam falls and pipe onto Dank. Can't chase too hard, but Shamu's poking into Z. He wants his frag. Dingo's already arrowed up though. They have to be careful here. 2 dead from the side of the blue team. It's still room to try to push in, but Shamu immediately melts. He gets dropped in this Uber. They have to take Polog into it. It was in too bad, but they're going to be 5v5 with the post Uber, and Zam respawns much quicker on this side of the map. So red team, they have to win now if they want to hold on to this long haul. Paul Dog able to kill Speedy. Is going to get traded up on the side of Trip, but so much room is given from the side of the red team. Dingo trying to hold it down and sticky out the point to make sure they can't cap it. Buy enough time for Zam to respawn, and he is actually here, able to be over on the lunchbox side of the point. I think red team, they recognize all the trades, the respawn are disadvantaged. They have to back up and concede. They're inside here right now, so weak, but they know that if they just wait a little bit longer, that maybe they can get some reinforcements of their own with Speedy's death.
coming into play now as they're trying to work their way through. Trip bombing in from the space. Dingo tried to walk forward, gets blasted all the way back, 24 HP after the fall damage, and they're still trying to hold on to the yard, but Dingo might die, trying to dodge rollers, just gonna die to Trip, his bombs in, able to take the height, and they're on top of the point right now. Around the corner, they're trying to lock them down, they're trying to get out. Aizen, really low, 20 HP, almost scattered down, and doesn't he die? Rakusa going in, able to get the frag, and Dingo able to take him down, but it's not quite enough. Hauling with the flank, maybe air shot on Dingo. Fall damage, lives with 2 HP, is able to survive, but after all is said and done, all these deaths, Dank is still alive. Red team caps the point, and Dothogs is one step closer to taking this round and tying up the game.
Yeah, they want to get in here. Jared, you're just spitting bars right now, and I think everyone in chat is appreciating it. Welcome back to the casting booth. Happy to have you here. We got Gungan up on Sniper, Sam up on Engineer, and Covenant want to maintain this 1-0 lead. It's a close match so far. What do you think's been the reasoning behind that closeness before this fight comes in?
I think they've done a really good job of keeping Dank alive throughout thick and thin, even if even if 6 people die in the entire server, Dank is the one that lives and Aizen's the one that dies, and that's the big difference. But Uber comes in, takes on the gun. Not really any frags immediately, which means there's a kind of a bit of an even playing field, but definitely the health is not even. As a blue team, they have a lot of people really weak red HP. Shamu's a bit weak as well. Sam's trying to find a kill, but Sin Karma kills too. Oh, that last final frags from the side of Sin Karma. Just get the melee out, knock him dead. Tied up round 1-1 for both teams.
1-1 is the score. I mean, halfway through this map, we have had it be a pretty close game so far, which has certainly been fun to watch. Covenant on their map pick right now really want to convert another round, and we will see as we get in onto mid-fight number 3, Jarrett.
Yep, so far Dank has been playing pretty passive. I don't expect that to change, but the Covenant, they did a good job. Even though Aizen died, at least they're able to kill literally everyone else, but I'm kind of curious to see how things develop if anything's going to change at all. Crypt is just on the light. He didn't commit immediately, and now they're finally going down into the lane. They're all scattered around. They're not able to get the exact frag they want. They're able to get a couple, but Dank, 15 HP, might be able to maybe survive.
Wow.
No. Pistol
What a
from Zam. So, I mean, they get a little bit more that time. I sure that, you know, I think both teams are not too unhappy. Like, obviously, you want more. You always are going to want more out of a mid result. But because of how Granary goes, where it's so easy for everyone to swipe, and you can kind of expect that to happen, at least, you know, you can have enough to hold your own too, as a, you know, a consolation. They're getting some cap time here with Sin, but he is unbeamed. It just takes a little bit of spam. Shamu might be able to shoot Gungan in the back. Really patient. Really patient. The discipline pays off. That's the sign of an experienced scout player there.
Yeah, I mean, Shamu has been on top here tonight. Rakuso really being a star player as well. The scouts from Dothogs have been on their game. They cap up the second point, want to get in. Oh, looks like they're playing the shutter. Nice job by Dingo to hit that pipe onto Paul Dog. One soldier down for both sides. The heals in favor, though, of the Covenant. Aizen's weak, but so many going down. Now Rakuso, the hero that the Dothogs need. They find Aizen, and that is med down in favor of the Dothogs. They'll have this full Uber in just a moment. And, well, they don't have any play. No way.
Holy
Shamu!
Holy
Shamu, you have to hit everything.
They didn't get the forwards, though. That's the big thing. You really needed to block the point there. That would have been, I mean, okay, let's be real. They've been leapfrogging. Oh, okay, maybe that's a bit better now. They've been leapfrogging the whole time, so the fact they use an Uber to like get a point and a kill is whatever. But the extra kill makes it even better. So this Uber is not going to come to the equation for the side of blue team at all. It's literally a straight up 64. This heavy has to melt. It has to get closer to the point. They put a lot of damage in, but they need to focus fire and get any of these frags. If they wait too long, Gungan's going to respawn and they're not going to have the player advantage anymore. But Zam cleaning up. It does not seem like the focus fire was there quite enough to melt down the blue team. So Red, they will be backing up. Shamu's in, going for a play, but the timing will be a bit off. The Speedy's just on top of the point, ready to defend it, and even more reason to have the red team probably just give up too. I mean, maybe they'll spam it just a tad, but they're not really going to be able to do anything about this. They have to worry about like lunchbox and stuff like that.
Paul Dog peeking rather aggressively here as Dothogs do come up on their Uber.
It's Ad though, yeah. It's small. You really, it's only pop around the corner, Ad. You would have to rotate to lunchbox way early if you wanted to do that, but it doesn't seem like they want to use it. They're just using the fact that blue team is afraid of an ad, that they're passive, which means that they can actually, you know, tease the point. But now that blue team has their Uber, they don't have to be as afraid.
Look at Rakuso, he's on last, rotating around. He gets spotted out by Zam, though, going for the medic.
And the force.
The force is key there. Backing out will be the rest of Dothogs. They lose 2, as Paul Dog also falls, but now can be Shamu and Sin Karma ready for this Uber through Shutter. just whenever they want to call it, they will go big ad here.
That was really smart from Rakuso. Even though that they didn't want to actually use their ad, they knew that the blue team, Covenant, would be scared enough that they're going to be passive, you know, afraid of around the corner Uber, and not going to be able to spot everything as good as they normally would. So Rakuso just takes advantage of that, slips all the way behind, and affects the force. But Uber in, they're really fine. It doesn't seem like they're going to get much here. Like, okay,
Dingo
no, actually they get
craters!
Dingo. He craters. Okay, no arrow coming in, but they've committed outside the shutter. Sort of farming in, able to get Sin Karma popped into the air. Scattered down is going to get taken down by the side of Trip, but you know, both sides of the shutter, some action happening. Crypt has ran out of ammo. He has no ammo, so they're gonna have less firepower here breaking in the last, but they might not need it. Gungan's actually really low. Polog in, giving up his life pretty much completely.
That's a
dead,
cap?
but they're just on top of the cap.
97% again.
Crypt didn't need ammo. Polog didn't need health. They're just pushing through and finding it.
Pushing through, making it work. 2-1 for the Dot Hogs, trying to close this map out. And if they do so, will move on to face Froyo in the Grand Finals, which will be after this cast. So plenty of TF2 left to be played tonight. Everybody, do not go away. But Jarrett, we are in on another mid-fight. Take us through it.
And Dingo going to the floor this time actually got pretty hurt, so he's not going to be able to hit the scouts that hard, but immediate bombs in from the side of Crypt to fake around a bit. Paul he was playing the floor,
Dank
going to give his life to Dank
Dank!
alone. They're pushing down left lane, they've dropped Dank to 7 HP, and he's pretty much out. Even though they're unable to kill him really quickly, it means that all these players on the right side of half the map are not very healthy, but yeah, he's back in there, a bit slow about pushing them down the lane. They're just playing Ring Around the Rosie, taking each other's side, so now it's really all in. Either you win or you wipe, and Dingo's going to be the first to fall in this new fight on each other's side of the map. Uber change coming out.
Oh,
Dank
they don't
does not
have
yet because of the rotation. That's a very heads up from the side of the blue team. They recognize that Dank was alone for so long that it was indeed but they lose Aiden in the post. They're unable to group up. They are able to get enough frags to make sure that they're able to hold on to mid. But I mean, the potential that you saw there for how that could have ended up for the side of the Covenant, a bit disappointing to see Aiden die near the tail end of that. So,
Dank says,
but they got the
you're
mid.
not me, Aizen. You're not me. And that is not true. No one is like Dank. It's even Ubers here, as Dot Hogs will try to hold their second. And yeah, things just gonna have to slow down. We might see. Do you reckon there'll be a dry fight here, or will they just wait for Uber?
In the yard, probably, maybe. I think Red Team was definitely expecting it with our entire team going out Lunchbox. They're being safe, and Blue Team's poking it now, but maybe a bit too late. I think they recognized that it wasn't really in their favor, but Shamu did die, so it's gonna make it a bit easier to actually go for this force. Either Rakusa has to play the combo scout role and get rid of 9 soldiers, or Crypt's not gonna have any help on the flank. They're actually weakening him so much that I feel like they might actually try to push into right yard in some direction, but so much damage. They're actually just retreating fully. I think they recognize that down a scout plus how bad all of their HP was, there's no actual good outcome for them making an attempt to hold yard, so they're very disciplined about it and just, you know, cut the losses and go back to 2.
Cutting losses is correct. These Ubers now full from both sides. And playing up top with their soldier right now is Aizen. Oh, the bomb in is denied by Sin Karma, but the Uber is popped on the side of the Greasy Dot Hogs. Exactly what that jump was looking for. And right back in things for Covenant, trying to tie this up 2-2.
Yeah, Paul Dog, you went for the Pal Factory Z, but timing was a bit off. They weren't actually like anywhere near the point. But just enough to try to punish him for it, so he is going to end up dying and going to be unable to assist with getting this force, and he's actually not really going to be able to help it last at all. Like, they're not really waiting for any more players from the side of the Covenant. They have the cap, they just need some buffs and they're ready to go. They just want to go through Shutter. They know that climbing is going to take way too long and they're not going to be able to capitalize on the Paul Dog death.
Uber's going to be in.
He's not in position, they're just in. They take a soldier as well to make sure that they can get some space and get this gun down. Pipe control coming from both these teams are battling over it. Bomb coming in from the side of Paul Dog to get some extra damage. They're able to hit on Gunnigan, and Dingo they're unable to win the war on the height. Shamu going for the greedy play, going in behind, trying to find a way into Aizen, and is able to be successful in taking down the medic as Sam, he's going for a play of his own, trying to find his way onto Sin Karma, but only a little bit of damage to his name. Trip, the last one left alive, the sole survivor, 50 HP, backed all the way to mid to make sure he can live to fight. And the side of Dot Hogs, they held on to that last pretty well and got more than I think a lot of people would have expected on that retreat.
Yeah, for real, to come out not only on top, but with this full Uber. I'm pushing into mid now in a moment. There's some traps through choke, but they're gonna get dead. Paul Dog baits them out with a nice jump through there, and yeah, Dot Hogs have the tempo here to work their way forward. Paul Dog in the air, Trip gonna slam into him and go down. It's a 4K for Ikuso right now. We've seen him do so much work throughout this match, and Uber's gonna be in aggressive, and it's another situation of just trying to leapfrog here. I think both teams are happy with it. And Dot Hogs are going to catch no one on the charge. but get a little bit of space into second.
Yep. Rakusa's just barely here. Should be here in time for any like shenanigans that they wish to go through with this push coming from the side of the Covenant. They're poking around Z. They're thinking about it. They're finally gonna maybe try to commit. Maybe just waited to see if there were traps or anything over there. They're making some space. Being a bit slow about it. If they're too slow, this ad's gonna dwindle, and all they're really gonna get is yard. So they have to be careful about there's a fine line between slow and too slow. But they're able to finally take yard. It's still 30%, but by the time you're actually in, you might find Dank getting and popping right back onto your face. And I think they've recognized that it's a bit too small for them to really take. So they'll go ahead and take yard. It's fine. And one thing to note about Granary is even though you're successfully like, okay, we've taken yard, cool, it doesn't actually reset this timer.
Yeah, timer is time is of the essence here on the config. And speaking of time, 7:30 left to play. The Covenant need to make a bit of a comeback here. Is their map pick. Dothogs will close it out if they win on this map. And the scuffle in this choke area gonna open things up with a bomb from Crypt. Not finding too much. A bit of damage onto Dingo, but it won't be enough for a frag. And that is the sack for the Dothogs. So Covenant now gonna have their own soldier going in. Yeah.
He's just ignoring Shamu, but Shamu shuts him down real hard, and just on top of the crates ready for him. He definitely knew, he could tell that sack was going to come through choke and not garage and not through choke. But they're flooding through choke actually with a large portion of their team. Dank's baiting a bit. He's 60 HP. Means these people can't really get healed. So as long as blue team executes well, they should be able to win. They're able to take down Rakusa. They get force though. They need a couple frags here. Able to take down 2. They lost speed in the process. They're not actually getting this force. Zam is behind. That's really all they have to work with, really. And Crypt recognize it. They're going back for him, trying to get the frag. They're still showing some presence here for this Uber. Comes out. They see Gungan and Junie way too far forward. Able to take down Gungan. A little bit of damage. Some arrows though. Trying to find the way on a trip. Popped up into the air on top of the pillar, but will indeed die, taken down. And they're seeing they can clean up Shamu, but not quite enough. Zam's still behind. They've brought back 2 to try to kill him, and he's slipped around. They're chasing him down. Rakusa wants to go 3-0 with this 1v1, and I think he's about to.
Speedy, big bomb!
This is another round.
Yeah?
There's only 2 left alive. They're not going to have enough in the tank here to really hold down 4 players. They're not even playing the cap that diligently. They just want these frags, and they're able to get them. A 3-1 in the favor of Hogs on. This is actually their map pick. Process was the Covenant's map pick. So.
Oh, did I have it backwards the entire time?
Yeah, Covenant pick Process. Hogs picked this.
My mistake. Chat, apologies. So yeah, Dothogs now on their own map pick and looking to close things out. Very interesting there, but we will be on another mid in just a moment. I'm going to be watching and seeing what the soldiers plan on doing. As we get into the action, a soldier getting up. That's Trip going in right onto Dank. 1 rocket, 2, and it's a beautiful bomb from the side of the Covenant to just right in there and absolutely mulch the bed. They haven't lost anyone on their side of things quite yet. Trip and Speedy both weak, getting some heals. Sin Karma's going to be out. Paul Dog, he's in Narnia, and he gets gunned down by Gungan. And what a mid-fight from the Covenant.
They finally figured out that, if Dank's just garage every single time and we really want to go for him, then we know exactly where we need to go to find him. And they're able to get him that time. I think maybe Dank, maybe slightly uncharacteristic, but then again, maybe not, because you play so many mid-fights where, like, people aren't going for you anymore for obvious reasons that maybe you slip up every now and then. You try to be a bit more greedy with healing certain targets to make sure they can survive and live through some of these mids. So, Covenant in a pretty good spot. Watch the traps, though. They're not on the point. Oh, and they lose Gungan right off the bat. It works out in Sin Karma's favor. They're going in, they're getting some damage. Speedy. Oh, he might just crater.
Yeah,
he does.
Good call. Yeah, cratering there to go down for the Covenant. They use their Uber. It's 50 ad for the Dothogs, and comeback was a fleeting thought in the minds of chat, but at this point, Dothogs still having so much control over this match, over the pace of these fights. They are certainly looking strong here.
Yeah, Covenant is inside the pentagram right now, without a doubt.
What is this? What is this pentagram I've been hearing about?
Look at Sin Karma's avatar.
Oh, I can't see it because of casting essentials.
Sin Karma just has him in a little box right now. This is his world, despite it being Granary. But he's just in. He's not even Ubered. He did not get flashed for this, and he's just jumping in, able to clean up Trip. They want more. Shamu was able to pretty much get almost all these players alone, and Sin Karma was a bit slow, but maybe helped a little bit of damage, but he's just on to Aizen. They're alone, they're separated, he's just in their last buying time. Even if he doesn't get this frag, a couple missed shots, doesn't quite hit the mark, but still a distraction, and the force comes out from Sin Karma. He's will get his life. Okay. Enough damage to clean up Dingo. It's just a demo man trade. He'll take
Crypt
that.
is going to crater in the back line. 3 fall for Dothogs, and Uber in their favor now as well. So with 3 to play, the comeback looking less and less possible, but Covenant fans still hoping for their team to make it back into this match.
Yeah, they're trying to dry. They know that the Uber isn't in time yet for the side of the red team, so they're just trying to go off the fact that a lot of players died, but they're trading some people back and forth. They need way more than that, and because it's starting out sloppy, and especially after they lose both their scouts, that's going to be LG wrote. And that makes it even harder to actually hold yard. They really have to go for like some sort of edge bug play, but Trip, he does a high bomb, but guesses the incorrect door, will give up his life for that, just killing himself on the floor, and you know, really went all in for that. Speedy's gonna die as well, get caught by Z. They're just dropping like flies. They're really trying to salvage something, but there's not much you can really do at this point. First, it was no scouts. Now you have no soldiers. I mean, you barely have an Uber. You're about to get it 90%, but red team, they're just gonna walk in. The shot into Sin Karma, saves it a bit. A shot from Zam, saves it even more. Paul Dog dead. Zam brought them back into this game.
Zam, just like that, turns the ship around and is right back at it. He's playing pretty aggressively too.
Crypt Spy. I don't see it often, but does he get greedy? He gets greedy. Oh, but Aizen knows. Aizen knows. Does not find success.
Nothing there in the slightest. Gunkin just rushing forward here, taking a lot of space on scout, missing his jump. Will rotate around.
They're trying to figure out. I think they're thinking about seeing if they could try to do anything at all, but because the spy death was so like early, that he's already going to be back in time for stuff as they poke through now. They're trying to find an opening now. They're able to actually, I think they got forced, or if they deliberately Ubered. Probably not deliberately Uber, unless maybe it just dropped Speedy. The thing is, they have a sniper. So it's a bit of an odd scenario. A lot of people weak on both sides. Dank really weak's going to be bait. There's pretty much like 6 players red health. But trades back and forth. Zam gets a headshot into Shamu, so Pockets got down for the side of the red team. But still players kind of in their favor. The respawners are coming soon, though, from the side of the Covenant. They just have to hold out a bit. Sniper could be thrown on their side. It might be difficult to dismantle, but seems like both teams are just content with waiting and, you know, just fighting over the second point instead of yard.
Sam said, do not peek my shutter. Do not try me. I will hit those. And has certainly been fragging out all night for the Covenant. We're under a minute left here in time. Then it will go to continuous overtime. And didn't we see a 4-1 on map 1?
Something like that, yeah.
So yeah, Dothogs could come back in and make it the same score both ways. We'll see what they decide to do. The Ubers have evened up. Both teams have.
Yep, up to the red team. They're rotating over towards Lunchbox. I think they're actually bringing their down man as well. So Shutter, the big Shutter is slightly open, but a lot of teams kind of assume the big Shutter is... Oh no, he came back, okay. So this is a pretty normal break. You have Demo Man watch the big Shutter on the right, try to poke your way through Lunchbox and Z, maybe force out the Roamer or something. But they're actually pretty passive. I guess not that passive at the side of the Covenant. They're trying to stuff down these doors. I'd be careful about Trip's HP, though. If Trip gets too weak, he's not going to be able to hold upper once they actually break through. He's playing really safe with his life, which is good, but he needs to be able to be tanked. That's why you see some medics actually climb on top of the cat with the Roamer to make sure that they can't actually get through this door. And Crips, he's just through. Trip's watching the door, but it doesn't matter, but...
says nope.
Yeah, Speedy locks him down. So, but Baldog's just in. Good damage onto Dingo. He's just up on top of the shelf in the corner at 22 HP, waiting for an arrow. And I don't blame Baldog for trying to go for that play, but 2 soldiers down means it's going to be very difficult to hold yard. Actually, Trip already behind. Recruit's trying to fight him. Really weak from both sides. No one really died. Recruit's just tries to go in for the shot, but it's going to be unsuccessful. 3 down for the side of the right team, and that is going to call them to immediately just start continuing back up to mid.
Oh,
the pipe, the lock and load. Dingo's the lock and lord.
Gungan pistol. Oh, I like that lock and lord. That's pretty good. Gungan hitting some shots right now. Dingo will end up cleaning things up, but Covenant will stack point here for a little bit and reset this round timer. It is continuous overtime. Covenant need to win out here to win the map and keep it going to map 3, but Dothogs, again, just so close to securing victory and moving on to face Froyo.
They tried to work their way through to go for a behind play of some sort, but once again, they did not really put enough pressure onto Sin Karma. So actually, they lost 3 for a force, which I mean, okay. Like, I'm sure red team's pretty happy with that, realistically. So, you know, blue team giving up a little bit too much, gonna get bit for that, and I guess it's a bit of a leapfrog scenario now instead of a stalemate. So, have their full Uber. Looking towards, they want to go choke. Paul Dog's in garage. I think he saw that a bit early. Rakusa doesn't seem like he's ready to go quite yet. Oh, no, he is. He's looking. They've shown their hands so early, and there's no one garage. They're just letting, what is happening? They're just letting Trip deal with it all by himself. There's 2 players here. He gets one of them. They bring Zam back. Another 1v1. Rakusa's already weak. Is he gonna 2-shot him? No. Okay, I mean, I guess they got 3. It was a bit sketchy, the fact they left it completely open and just let Trip do all the work. But I mean, hey, props to them. It works out. Still maintained their Uber. So able to take the cap and yards.
Have here.
Yeah, yards free. That's something.
Yard is free, and you're gonna take everything you can here on the side of the Covenant. 95, almost now full charge for the Dot Hogs, and we might be seeing an exchange rather soon. Speedy gonna just eat the traps, go down to Sin Karma, who is now playing fairly aggressively. Dingo looking to spam. 2 players going behind. Rakuso's gonna be in, onto Trip, looking for the frags. Both getting weak. The Uber gonna be exchanged.
Oh, it's a
yard.
family
Trip
Uber.
is dead.
It's a 5-man Uber for the blue team. This family Ubers are not what you want to see. Both
Rakuso onto Aizen. What a flank.
And Dingo's still top of the height. They're trying to find any sort of frags onto the red team, but and they're able to get a couple. Dingo able to collect 2, so it's not going to be so easy for the side of Dot Hogs, but they're holding this choke down pretty well. They recognize if they play it slow, they can play off the heal advantage they've already created. Sin Karma has no fear. Shemu wants to rotate away to a different door, but Trip, he thinks it's still going to potentially be choked, just jumping around, but is only messing up his own HP and will barely escape with 23 HP. And red team starting this cap. They don't have players, though. Blue team should poke. And they are. Speedy's trying to make space. They know that there's 3 people rolling out. Only 3 people here capping mid.
Good.
So much damage on a Sin. And very good job from the side of the Covenant to recognize that this mid cap should not go for free. Will they eventually get it? Yeah, probably. It's uber rad for them. They'll probably leapfrog it, but you definitely don't let it happen then. And it pays off. They get the dome man kill. It's going to be huge. They're walking through yard for free. Zam's are actually already behind him. Their Shudder Rakusa's chasing after him. Does not want to go for the 1v1 quite yet, though. They're able to take right yard. Zang really weak. He's at the caboose at the train trying to get into the Shudder and will eventually die. The decision to retreat. The decision to retreat yard just was called way too late, and it caught them off guard and ended up paying for a lot of their lives. Paul Dog goes in, gets Gungan, but that's not going to be enough to defend against here. Rakuso has to like kill everyone. This Uber has to get dropped from the sniper, but he already switches off. They're through. Speedy gets dropped. That's something. Shemu was able to give up a little bit of HP for that, and Sin Karma able to take him down. But pipe from Dingo able to take down 1. They really got to cap this if they're not going to be able to find any frags. The longer this goes on, the more that this could be back in. Paul Dog going to respawn. They have to play this fast. They know that the respawn advantage isn't paid for the red team, so they have to make sure they get these frags. They're on it now, but it's too late. They already have the respawners up. It's going to be garbage from the initial way they played it, and now they're just kind of stuck. Dingo's going to fall. They're trying to escape out of the Shudder. Shemu's on the chase. Nice arrow. Aizen 37 HP. They're trying to scatter him down. He's around the corner, but Gungan able to make sure that he defends his medic. Shemu will die, and even though that last push didn't quite work out, at least it didn't go abysmal as it initially looked that it might.
Shemu asking, what was your HP, Aizen? It was certainly low, and we've now seen, 97, 98, and 99% med death, so...
Looking for the drop.
We're looking for the drop, and as both these medics approach full Uber, we don't have any snipers in play, but, you know, perhaps the prophecy will be fulfilled in its entirety. And Dot Hogs, I mean, we haven't seen them on the defense very much here in this match, Jarrett. And they're just opting for cookie cutter classes.
Yeah, don't really want to go for a gun. I guess that's because they want to be really mobile and push out as soon as the 2-man comes through. Able to find the 1. Bomb coming in. They're really confident that they're not going to need a gun and they're just going to be poised well. But because they have no off classes now, everyone's already prepared to start pressuring these doors. You don't have to wait for anyone to like, oh, let me switch off my class and then come and get buffed and then go to the door that I need to go to. There's immediately in. So it's
this is a 3-man.
They start this really well. Not only did they get the speedy kill really quick, but Zam's not even here quite yet. The Uber exchange comes out. They're trying to block to at least buy time for their respawners to come in, but Dingo, 37 HP. They know he's so weak. They want to go for him, and he does indeed die. Shemu giving him his life, but that's well worth it. Is able to get this cap. Trip is behind through Z. They have to watch out for him. Paul Dog left alone as they have to turn around for the soldier, and Gungan able to go forward, collect that kill. Rakusa able to make sure he does indeed die for his aggression, but only 2 left alive inside of yard. Speed's not quite there. Blue team, they really have to collect all the frags. Sam's going wild and able to finally kill Rakusa. Only 2 left alive from the side of the blue team. Shamu rolling out, not quite there. Sin Karma, he has to reload. You know he wants to fight this, but the soldier bombing it above is going to make it really hard. Speedy in a pretty good position to lock them out. They had to be afraid that he might just go through pipe straight and center, and they are going to be having enough pressure to really lock the Doc Hogs out of this and make sure that they're able to capture there too.
And Doc Hogs will be on to last this time, opting for Rikuzo on Engineer. These Ubers approaching full charge. Just a right side gun defensively. I'm honestly not sure on the possible sentry spots. Is this a common one to see? I feel like it's usually further back.
For even, usually you're like either centralized so it can cover all the doors, or you put it on your weakest door, because you can have like the NG and the sentry watch it together in a way. Just like if someone does like try to feed. But I don't know if you need it right if Sin Karma is going to be watching right side as well. But I mean, the one man what happened from the side of Trip didn't really work out. So I mean, the gun didn't really need to do anything, I suppose. Didn't matter either way. But they're trying to corner cap this, mine the stickies from the side of Dingo. They're getting some cap time. The Uber exchange will probably eventually come out from Speedy, and Paul Dog give us his life. That's
Sniper up from Sam.
Yep, counter sack technically. They're still holding on, and yeah, after Paul Dog's death, they know that that's just going to be a late counter, and that's all. It's going to be all she wrote. Back to last. No gun. With no soldier as well, it means this is the window. Zam could swing wide right now, just have to be aware of the stickies. So they're picking the door that is trapped, which is going to slow things down. Buys the Paul Dog spawn, so he's also able to get to a door just in a few seconds here. It's going to make it even harder, and the best window that Zam's going to have is right now. It's now or never. And
oh, he almost goes
never.
for it. He chickens out.
Back to square one. It's possible, it's just as hard as it normally is.
It's got to be a hero play to go for that. We've got a gun. It is level 1 up on the pipe this time around. Perhaps targeting the bombers a little bit more.
Yeah, I saw Rakusa do this in the match I played against him as well. That's the most centralized gun you can place to make sure that no matter where they sack through, that the gun will be able to participate in some way, shape, or form. If you put it more to the left and more to the right, they could sack and completely avoid the gun's fire, and the gun will end up shooting no one while they collect like a frag or two, and then it gets spammed down after or whatever. So, I don't disagree with this play.
Yeah, it is an interesting option there. Zam's going to be peeking through upper. He takes a shot, not hitting it. Still just the engineer op class, and it'll be a level 2 gun. Zam now looking for the shutter. It's really on Zam here to find something, and for the rest of the Covenant to stay alive. Zam takes this shot, has to back off.
Speedy hit the rocket for him to make sure this Hem didn't dive. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but it definitely saved him a bit. Might have gotten juggled in.
1 minute and a half here in the round timer, and then it will be a reset, so we'll certainly see an Uber come in shortly. And still Sam looking for a frag, working his way in. He's eating all the damage. He goes down, but 2 will fall, 3 will fall on the offense. And I guess they pick up Paul Dog in the end. Will help the side of Covenant out here, but
the blue team's gonna exchange. They definitely want to. They want to hold this. Or maybe they don't want to. Maybe they let it cap to the time reset. I don't know if they want to go to another mid, because if this doesn't end up ending into anything, it's just going to be a mid reset. So it depends on what you really want. They tried to poke. Uber Exchange was not baited out. I guess in a way it makes sense because you're playing against Dank from the side of the Covenant, that it's not going to be that hard to, like, you know, it's going to be way harder to actually get this force. You could just pop around the corner, kill Shamu, and Dank will just run away. So definitely need the speed there, but they have a heavy. They're going to do the post-Uber heavy strategy. They're going to Uber exchange. The heavy's seen, so red team knows it's coming. They just have to figure out which door the heavy's going to poke through. They have to kind of flip a coin and guess. Or play centralized so they're prepared for either one and not stuff them initially. But the Uber exchange comes out through pipe. Get the gun. Dank has him pop jet. Will milk it a lot. He's just in the spawn. He doesn't want to use. He resupped literally. They kill Paul Dog, which is something. Sin Karma will get saved by the Uber. The heavy's through, but Dingo's HP is pretty bad. I mean, he's finally getting healed up now. He will run out.
Oh,
it's gonna be stalemate.
In time. Stalemate. You're all losers. And we'll be back to mid for another fight here.
And now we're at overtime, so this is really, it could be nail in the coffin. You get a really good mid here, and like wipe him completely and somehow keep your medic alive. That could be around. You've seen that plenty of time in the history of Granary. Just one good mid. Just like, it's not like a bunch of trades all over the back and forth. Just, you know, pull something out, anything you're hiding. Now's the time to put it forward, to catch them off guard, and that could be your ticket to, you know, put it around on the board or even winning the match, depending on which team.
No off classes to this mid-fight, a good thing to see. 2 soldiers up in the air, Speedy landing on Tank, Tank not taking any damage. What is this? How does he avoid it all? Playing in the corner now, 2 dead for the Covenant. And Azen down now as well as Griff gets in. And Dingo is kind of just behind with this mid-fight for the Dot Hogs. Sam is lurking on these crates. Dang! Oh, he'll get a direct. No, Sam could have gone in.
On the crates.
But now we'll be in. 1, 2, not enough.
13 HP.
Sin Karma, the save of the match. And, yeah, Tank gonna live there.
Like I foretold it, you know, you just need one decent mid where it's not a trade all over the place. You're able to keep most of your team alive, you know, secure 2 for sure, and have full Uber ready for last. And Dot Hogs are finding themselves in that situation. If they 4-1 this, that's it. They're gonna go on to the grand finals here. So it's gonna be for all the marbles here from the side of the Covenant. They really have their life on the line as the Uber comes through pipe, chasing down Speedy. Actually, Sin Karma going not for the gun, behind to the combo, and they're able to kill 2. No players available to really block spare the solar bombing in. Second line of defense is coming in, but that is game. I couldn't even tell what they were going for. They like went towards Speedy bit with the scalp, then Dingo. Sin Karma jumped not the gun and just bombed the players instead, shoved them out, able to collect 2 immediately off the scattered players that are unable to find support, and you know, 4-1 both ways. Dot Hogs are going on to play Froyotech and Covenant. They take home 3rd.
They do take on 3rd, yeah, so we will take a look at logs here and then go to a break, and then it will be grand, so a lot of TF2 left to be played. Jared, I don't know if you have them open yet, but I'm about to take a crack at these logs.
I will take a peek in a moment. Give me a sec.
I'm
Tell me
seeing
what
top
you initially
damage.
see.
I'm seeing top damage from Sin Karma. I mean, people were calling him Sin Pharma for a reason. 26 frags, 332. It's Shamu, who I believe top frags with 37, which is just an excellent showing. 252 damage from him. And Dank dying 7 times, 12 for his opposing medic. I don't know anything else. It's only 2,000 damage difference and 3 frags total on that fight. On that match, rather.
I think Rakusa's DPM really shows how little that can matter on Granary if you know what to do and when to do it. Because you think about Rakusa's game and how much of a game he had, and you can think of so many moments where it's like, oh, he made the play that like saved a round, or you know, cracked the shell and brought things forward for his team. But you know, it kind of went even-ish, like slightly positive, and like didn't really do that much damage. But I guess that's to be expected, you know, on Granary. You got all the stalemates, so I guess it kind of it's one of those examples of you know, the logs are good to look at, but you know, you can only look at it so much because it doesn't really tell the story. I think Rakusa had a really good game.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not seeing too much else in these logs, and I know the players have to go eat some food as we get ready for Grands. Any other observations before we wrap things up?
Mostly just the medic deaths again. I think, you know, it's not too big of a gap, but considering, like, I don't know how these fights kind of go down, where, like, so many people die and it's hard to, like, have an entire team to push on to the next point immediately. It's more like a respawner advantage or, like, a heal advantage type of deal, or, like, a very, very, like, a later on Uber advantage type of situation where it's, like, the first fight is, like, a slight victory, which can snowball into a second victory later. I think those types of fights that go down in this match makes it even more important to, like, every little medic death matters. So the fact that Dank was living much more, I think definitely proved to be very useful for them. Covenant were kind of like, they're kind of on top of it for a small amount of time to make sure that they could, like, at least, even if they couldn't keep Azen alive, that they could at least kill Dank, but definitely was not enough.
Well, there you have it. We're going to wrap things up here before Grands. Jarrett, thank you for returning to the cast. Any shout-outs that you have?
Definitely shout out to all the teams for playing and all the people for watching, and shout out to my team, LeBron Stanton-Noble. It was a fun playing this season. It's a good season.
Are you back in the booth next year?
Oh, I'll have to see. I'll have to wait and see. You got an off season to think about stuff and figure things out, you know? So I'll have to wait with bated breath, I suppose.
All right, keeping us on our toes in the offseason. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back in just a little bit, but Greasy Dot Hogs have beaten the Covenant in 2 maps to move on and face Froyotech in Grand Finals. We'll be right back in about 20 minutes with that. We'll see you real soon.
5-6-4? What?
546.
it's good.
Sorry, 546.
5, 4, 6.
Yeah, in order of the original trilogy, best movies.
Oh, okay. If we're only talking original trilogies, I agree with that. Obviously, we were talking
Anyway,
about.
ladies and gentlemen, enough Star Wars talk. We are live for Grand Finals. Froyotech versus the Greasy Dot Hogs. Season 12 is coming to a close. Dolphin control us on the soundboard all he wants, but we all know why we're here. It's to watch some good TF2. My name's Godfather, your strongest caster. I have TC back on the mic with me. Dolphin is behind the scenes, giving us a soundboard show, as well as bringing us all this wonderful TF2. Froyotech coming into this matchup with a one-map advantage, TC. How you feeling tonight? How you feeling about the Dot Hogs' chances?
I'm feeling really good. Hopefully, this should be a banger of a match. Froyotech versus the Greasy Dot Hogs. We already saw what the Greasy Dot Hogs could do against the Covenant just a couple of hours ago, and taking it pretty well there. They're going to have to step it up, though, if they want to take it against Froyotech. I do think they have a shot, as slim as it might be, but it's all going to have to start on the first map. We got a long series ahead of us, Godfather, and we're just going to have to see how it turns out.
Yes, and with that, it might be time to get into the pick ban order that we saw for this. Froyo, again, has the upper map advantage. So one map advantage there. They were the first to ban, and they got rid of Greenery, a map that, as TC and I were talking about, Dot Hogs have played so much recently and had great success on it, getting that out of the way with. Likewise, the Dot Hogs taking away product. That's just a map that Froyotech is so excellent on. And TC, that leads us to the first Bagel pick by Froyo.
Yeah, Bagel being picked up by Froyotech. I think it's a good pick for them. I think it kind of, just plays to their strengths. I think, Bagel's maybe a map that you can just out DM people on a little bit. And when you look at that roster, Jay, High Five, Logan, he's been doing so much damage, even Banny and Donovan on soldiers as well. That's a very, very tough roster to go up against on such a DM heavy map like Bagel. So I think that really just plays into Froyotech's strengths. Going on forward, the Greasy Dot Hogs picked Process, which they also picked against the Covenant. Correct me. Oh no, it was the Covenant who picked Process. But the Greasy Dot Hogs won there regardless, so they definitely got to be feeling a bit confident considering they won on Process against one of their closest adversaries, being the Covenant, and then Froyotech banning Gullywash, Godfather.
Yeah, taking away that map, I think it's one that the Dot Hogs are confident on. Maybe Froyotech not feeling great about it. Then it's the Dot Hogs taking away Sunshine, which I don't think is a map we've seen too much of this playoff season. But speaking of maps, we haven't seen much of. Sultry picked by Froyotech. I don't know if we've casted a match together that this map has been played on, TC. Correct me if I'm wrong, and then we are in onto Metalworks. Dot Hogs picking that if it gets there, TC.
Yeah, if it gets there, that would mean we have been in a heck of a series. So always exciting to see. I think the only person who has played Sultry so far in this whole invite season has probably been Froyotech. It was against LeBron-Stantinople. Maybe someone else in the division also played it, but I know for sure the Greasy Dot Hogs have not played it. They only had it on their schedule once, and that was the third map again against Froyotech. So last time they weren't able to make it there. This time maybe they might be able to, so they've probably scrimmed it maybe a couple times just in case they got to that third map. They're going to be hoping that they get here tonight because they have to at the bare minimum if they want to take this one home, Godfather, because like you said, Froyotech coming in with the one map advantage, meaning that they only have to win 2 here. They only need to win Bagel and Process, and then they'd be able to go home. Greasy Dot Hogs need to win Bagel, Process, and Sultry, assuming like each team wins each map instantly if they want to go home. So if you're looking at least Sultry, if you are the Dot Hogs, Froyotech, you could wrap it up by Process. If we get to Metalworks, though, that would be a heck of a show, Godfather.
Yeah, TC, a quick question for chat. The poll is closing, but let us know who you want to win. Right now, Dot Hog's the favorite, but I think that poll might close right about now. We'll see if last-minute votes come in. Might have to restart that poll so people know about it. Also, spend your channel points. Ladies and gentlemen, it's finals. This is pretty much your time to do it. So spend those channel points. Let's get a good bet going. We don't condone betting real money, but this is just fake internet points. But TC, map 1 will be Koth Bagel. Oh, and a quick shout out to everyone who subbed. Eku, thank you so much. But Koth Bagel TC, a very cap on this map. What do you think of the pick?
Yeah, like I said, Bagel, any Koth map in general can be extremely DM heavy, and when you look, like I said, when you look at the people on Freyotech, they've just got so much talent there. I think as well, a big thing about Bagel, it's a really, really great soldier map. Not to say that it's bad for any other class, but maybe when you just in comparison to some of the other map pools, I think it's one of the stronger ones for soldiers. So a lot of times we've seen it was the Covenant who played on Bagel. Speedy was just able to do so many amazing bombs to get onto the medic. And I think that's going to be something interesting to watch here. What do the soldiers do? Are they going to be trying to push the house? Are they going to be trying to play the flanks? Or instead, are they just going to be trying to go jumping across the point and trying to land onto the medic at kind of a bit more spectacularly? So it might vary from each team. I haven't really seen the Greasy Dot Hogs on this, so I don't quite know how they play. But with Freyotech, they're going to be trying to take every opportunity possible, whether it's going to be trying to send someone in behind, Donovan flanking, or maybe it's going to be even Jay, just getting through and kind of causing a bit of chaos. So I think that's definitely something to look out for, the soldiers and the flank players specifically. The other side, the demos as well, Logan, he can do massive amounts of damage on any map, but especially on Bagel, you gotta expect he's gonna be a big thorn in, the Greasy Dot Hog side, because even if he's not getting the kills, he's gonna be doing enough damage to weaken those players, allowing Donovan or Jay to just fly in and clean up a bunch of players. So that's someone you've maybe got to try and focus if you are the Dot Hogs.
That is fair analysis. Chat, I opened another poll. Let us know for real this time. Who do you want to win? Because I'm curious how chat is feeling about this matchup. TC, something that was pointed out by Dolphin when we were just talking earlier is that the last time Banny won finals, won grands, was at RGLgg, and I casted that match, and I haven't casted any of the losses since. So perhaps Banny's luck is in their favor tonight as I am on the mic. What do you think of that superstitious line of thought?
Well, I think it might turn out to be correct because we talk about Freyotech, and that's true. They have not won RGL since the RGLgg, but they didn't win Season 10 of RGL. They got third. They didn't win Season 11 of RGL. They got second. So they're definitely on an upward trend from that initial third place kind of dip that they had. You look at this roster in comparison to those past three previous rosters, it's definitely the strongest out of those three. And even when you look at previous Freyotech iterations, this is definitely one of the strongest. I mean, Jay and High Five making his first Freyotech debut, I guess, on the team. Jay has been there a few times before, but that's just such a deadly scout combo. Jay, he's deadly on basically any class. He's even deadly on medic, but you just can't count him out whatsoever. He's just that type of player to run in, get a 4K out of nowhere, and then just not even break a sweat. It's just an average Tuesday for Jay Hyunbae. And then, yeah, an average Tuesday for Jae Hyunbae. And then Banny and Donovan. Banny, he's an all-class extraordinaire, made his name on demo, now coming over to Soldier and has done exceptionally well. Donovan, I think, has also come into his own on this Freyotech roster. He was there for those first two seasons that we previously mentioned. And this would be his first time winning on Freyotech, first time winning in general, but it's kind of exceptional to think, he's been on Freyotech for 2 seasons already. This is the third. He hasn't gotten that win, so he's looking for it today. I'd make his day to get that with the team. Zilly as well, just really, really competent medic, been around the scene for a long time. Also amazing on Soldier as well. Has kind of got that dual experience knowledge of the game, so you look at this, and Logan, I can't not mention Logan. That's the thing, Godfather. Everyone on this team has the ability to just pop off, which makes them so deadly. And that's not to say that, the Greasy Dot Hogs are a bunch of slackers. They're not. They got really great players. Sin Karma, Shamu, Paul Dog, Rakuso, all of these guys as well are exceptional in their own right, but they have to be playing on the top of their game if they want to try and take it to Freyotech, which makes it such a hard matchup for them, but would make it even that much more better if they are going to be able to take it.
We will see. Chat's polling TC. I don't know if you would have expected this. With a little over 10% reporting, we got 42 votes for .hogs, 27 for FroyoTech on who people want to win. You surprised by that result?
Sorry, say the result again. My bad.
That .hogs are the fan favorites here. Are you surprised by that?
Yeah, because no, sorry, I'm not surprised because even though technically, if you look at previous seasons, FroyoTech are in some way an underdog considering they have not won a season of Invite for 2 seasons now. I think when you look at only this season, like insular, just like only the games that have happened, FroyoTech are definitely not the underdogs. They are the favorites to win. Just if you're a betting man, that's who I think you'd have to bet on. So everyone loves a good underdog story. So I think maybe some people are viewing FroyoTech as like over these past few seasons, they're kind of an underdog because they haven't won. But the teams that have been beating them, G6, Witness Gaming, they're not here. So in that respect, they're the favorites to win. Greasy.Hogs, definitely the underdogs. When you looked at the start of a season, Godfather, you didn't quite know who was going to fill in that second seed slot. FroyoTech were kind of confirmed or expected to be here in grand finals. But, that second seed was kind of back and forth between Greasy.Hogs and the Covenant. Greasy.Hogs kind of started out the season strong. The Covenant responded in Stage 2 and the beginning of playoffs, but Greasy.Hogs coming back and be able to get into grand finals. So a bit of back and forth there, but neither of those teams really looking like they had the potential to take it against FroyoTech. It's going to be interesting to see if they can do so tonight. And so I think everyone's hoping that they do because everyone loves a great underdog story. It would be amazing to see Paul Dog and Rakuso just come out and show FroyoTech everything that they possibly got. But I think right now we're just waiting. Hopefully some technical difficulties being assessed on the side of a Greasy.Hogs. Better to do them now than in the middle of the match where maybe your momentum gets ruined, Godfather. So we're just going to have to wait. I think we're only waiting on one more player, and then we can get live with grand finals. But you know what, Godfather? We got some merchandise. Some new merchandise.
I was ready to bring it up. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking all about how the merch shop was closing, but now the new merch is here. We got some really cool designs. Just check out that cute little spy crab. Perfect for a shirt or a hoodie, perhaps. A lot of great stuff. Check it out at shop.rgl.gg. This is, again, the new designs. I'm kind of liking the Snakewater and Badlands stickers, TC. What are your favorites?
Yeah, the Snakewater and Badlands stickers are phenomenal, actually. I do also like the scattergun. It's a pretty dripped out scattergun, seeing as it's actually just dripping down. So that kind of fills the sunshine aesthetic of the last batch that we had. So definitely, like you said, get these designs because someday they are going to go away. Always got to rotate the shop out. It's kind of like the night market shop from Valorant. You never know what's in the shop. So this is what we got for the time being, and then some great designs. So make sure you get your hands on a couple, and then after that, it's going to be some new things coming in. But we got this for now. My favorite, definitely that scattergun. What's yours, Godfather? Is it the stickers?
It's got to be the stickers. I mean, that's the sort of thing that I would actually put on my stuff. I'm not a big put stickers and whatnot on my stuff. Yeah. But I really like both of those. They give national park vibes, which I appreciate.
Yes.
I'm a fan of national parks. I think they're pretty neat. Anyway, that is enough talking about this new wonderful merch. Let's get back and take a look at the action. I want to talk about some specific player head-to-heads, TC. I want to hear your thoughts on them as I bring them up.
Okay.
We have on Demo Man, Sin Karma, and Logan. Now, Sin Karma we've seen a lot from, doing a lot of great work, kind of popped off in the lower finals, coming in against Logan, who might not be very warmed up, but has just been playing pretty solid TF2 at FroyoTech all season. Who do you think's the better demo coming into this match?
The better demo? You're just asking it straight up. I mean, both of these guys are top tier, I think, of Invite. Sin Karma's been there for a long time, even though he hasn't been necessarily on the top Invite team. He's kind of made his name like exceptionally well known throughout Pugs. He's very much well known for his AI-like behavior and a kind of just being a sticky trap god and getting those blind deaths. But I think overall, when you look at it, Logan is maybe the overall a bit more well-rounded demo. You know, he's got a bit more actual invite, top invite experience playing on a top team with like a G6. He's been to LAN, he's LAN proven, LAN tested. So even though this isn't a LAN right now, this is online, just having that in your back pocket, having that experience, comfortability, playing TF2 in all different scenarios, I think is definitely a good thing and might be able to help him out through any potential tense moments that might happen during this match tonight. So I would have to give it in the favor of Logan, of the low gang, so to speak. You know, he's been doing phenomenal in every match Froyotech has played. He's just been top damaging at all possible scenarios, you know, just being such a consistent and reliable factor for his team. So I think I'd have to give it to Logan, but Sin Karma's no slouch. You know, he's got some traps waiting to just det on an unsuspecting Banny or an unsuspecting Zilly to just change the tides of the match. So it's definitely a close one. Have to give it to Logan, but both of these demos at the top of their game right now.
Absolutely, two fantastic demos. I wanted to ask the hard questions, you know, the hard to answer ones, the ones the chat really wants to know. Shout out to Sab900. We got another sub in chat. Much appreciated. That, again, goes to support production like the three of us you are watching tonight. Dolphin's given us some terrifying spy angles for the cast. But any matchups that you want to talk about, player v player here, in this matchup?
Yeah, I mean, I guess when you talk about other matchups that we could look at, only two that really step out to me is going to be the Soldiers, Banny and Donovan versus Paul Dog and a oh my god, I'm forgetting the other Soldier. Actually, I was gonna speak about it. I was about to say Rakuso, because he's normally the Soldier. He's played Soldier a bunch, but he's not filling that role. Crypt is the other Soldier, and the person that we're waiting on. Hopefully, everything is okay on his end, and he's going to be able to get into the server and, you know, be able to do a lot of work. You know, because I think Paul Dog, he's kind of maybe the informal team leader. I think he's the team leader of this team, as who I see as the, you know, the Dot Hog Samander, you know, the Supreme Hog, just coming out here for his team. But I think if definitely on Bagel, I think if Paul Dog and Crypt are going to be able to do a lot of work, they're going to be able to change the tides here, and kind of, you know, if their ability to get onto Zilly is going to be a big factor, and whether they're going to do that or not. And I think, you know, you look at Donovan and you look at Banny. Banny, he really likes to kind of, you know, fade away. He's very kind of play his life as a Soldier. You know, he's not, you know, the most committal. Like, he will commit. That's not to say he's a baiter, but he's very much good at just kind of playing around, kind of playing the spam game. Donovan's kind of the one to have to, you know, try and initiate things and kind of go in deep here. So, you know, if the Dot Hogs are going to be able to recognize that and kind of maybe just kind of pressure Banny and kind of pressure that fact that they know he might just fade away instead of going for the complete bomb, then maybe they might have a shot here, whereas I think Paul Dog and Kryptonite are just more willing to send it in all of these scenarios. So I'm going to be curious to see if that's a factor, but as we are waiting for Crypt to get in here, one thing I did want to speak on is the fact that, like you said, the Dot Hogs have already played 2 matches, and Froyotech are coming in clean. You know, they haven't had necessarily any warm-up. Maybe they played a few people, or maybe they were just MGEing in preparation for this, but Dot Hogs already, as we do have a bit of taunt shenanigans going on, Donovan with the nice little drum solo there. Yeah, but Dot Hogs have already had a couple maps to warm up, and they've also had a couple maps, Godfather, to get a bit tired. You know, at a certain point, this is an endurance game, especially if it goes all 4 maps. Then Froyotech coming in a bit colder might be a bit more in their favor, as we do have kind of maybe like a little Froyotech powwow going on. Donovan playing the drums for some people, maybe looking to start his career as a professional musician. As he ruthlessly gets denied from Thank, spamming those rockets, and as the moment, it's just gonna be on to Kryptonite. Hopefully things aren't, going too bad. We had Kev had to step out for his game. You gotta wonder how much that impacted the Greasy Dot Hogs. Apparently it was a golfer like beating up his dog or something like that, and Kev had to go run out, protect. I don't know. I saw something in chat, something like that. Kev,
you can't trust chat. You cannot.
I trust chat. They would never lie to me. No?
Man, I think if I learned one thing in casting for RGL this time, it's that you do not trust a thing that chat tells you. Unless it's the player themselves saying it. Yeah.
True.
I trust when Kev tells me I'm not playing, it's other person when he's in chat. But I do not. I don't really adhere to the guidance of Jose Gonzalez 2000 or whatever, we find in the chat room. Anyway, Crypt will be along shortly, I'm sure.
Yes, and Karma's saying that Crypt is here, and it's just maybe just debriefing with the team. Maybe they're taking this time to cool down a little bit because, like I said, they did just play those 2 maps, and sure, they did have 30 minutes, but still, potentially playing up to 6 maps of TF2 with each map not having a definitive time length can be a bit of a tall order for any person. So, they might just be taking this time to cool down, think about the strategies, thinking about how they want to do this, how they want to try and play this Bagel game, because Bagel starting off here is going to be FroyoTech's map pick, and Dot Hogs going forward. They got to look forward to their own map, but it all starts here on Bagel as we're
still waiting. We're still waiting. I think there's some other things that we can bring up.
Sure.
Let's get a quick look at the bracket and see how exactly these teams got here, because it's been quite the journey, TC. And I think you are the better storyteller, and I'll let you take us through how these teams got here.
Of course. So I guess we do have it up on screen. Obviously, FroyoTech just kind of rolling over everyone in their path. LeBron-Stantinople, then the Covenant, and the Greasy Dot Hogs in the upper grand finals. Now we get to the true grand finals. We're going to have to see if maybe the Greasy Dot Hogs can have a bitter showing. For the Greasy Dot Hogs, it was a bit more of a topsy-turvy kind of path here. They lost to the Covenant in the first part of playoffs. Then they won against Estrogen, took my homie. They won against LeBron-Stantinople, and then they won against the Covenant. Redemption for them against kind of their closest adversary this whole invite season. And now they're going to be going up against FroyoTech, securing second spot, as we do have a pause. Actually, no, maybe the
server shutting down.
The server shutting down. We've been waiting so long that they have not renewed their reservation. So they, always remember to renew your reservations, guys. Whether it's during a pug or whether it's during a match, just a simple exclamation point extend will save you a bit of headache. But that's not what's happened here. I thought maybe it was a pause, meaning that we had gone live sometime in the near future, because you don't generally pause in pregame, but no, it's the server dying. So maybe, it was Crypt not being able to join the server. Actually, no, Crypt did get into the server, so that it makes it even a bit worse. Maybe it's only just a few retries away, but with Crypt in...
He's unboxing again.
Oh, okay.
Chat, if you weren't here for it last night, Dolphin unboxed an Unusual live on the cast. And so perhaps his gambling addiction continues here. As we wait for new connect. Ooh, very nice, Dolphin. Bomb carrier, sniper rifle, or shotgun, whatever he opts for. But Dolphin, I think we want to see an Unusual pulled again here. If you could just write that in the script.
I mean, 2 Unusuals in 2 days. That's got to be some type of streaming record. In somewhere, somehow. But yeah, Dolphin last time he did unbox an Unusual. I think it's clipped somewhere if you want to see it.
Oh, it's definitely clipped.
Ooh, team serviced Warpaint. That's kind of nice. It's different depending on the team you are. These summer skins are pretty good, Godfather. There's a fair few that I like, and I think those are the cases that he's opening up. That's a pretty clean sticky bomb launcher. It's
good stuff there. I think that's 1 or 2 more keys to be had. Dolphin may be saving the rest for a bit of a show later if we go to another extended break. We're still waiting on Connect here. But chat, if you want to fuel Dolphin's gambling addiction, you can consider subscribing here to the channel. That will help support us and all that we bring to you here.
Yes, and it should be mentioned, RGL does not condone gambling unless it's with RGL sanctioned channel points, in which case gamble those all away on your favorite team or the team you think is most likely going to give you the best investment or return possible. We've had a few people for the Greasy Dot Hogs, a few people for FroyoTech. FroyoTech probably the favorite coming in tonight, but you know, if you did bet on the Greasy Dot Hogs, just imagine that return when if they manage to go for the upset. Server has restarted. I think all players should be able to get in here fairly quickly, considering we did have all 12 before the server died. Maybe just a preemptive restart to make sure that the server is all nice and fresh and clean, so there's no just kind of a lag there. But as we just wait for everyone to get in here, Godfather, I should remind you, this is Grand Finals. I know we've been waffling a lot. This is still a tournament, not a tournament, despite what you might have seen for these past few minutes. And with the players joining in, it should soon be the start of it. And it's going to be on the Greasy Dot Hogs to try and take this away against FroyoTech. They got a tall task ahead of them, though, Godfather.
Yeah, a tall task indeed here. I mean, any team going up against FroyoTech has struggled so much this season. It'll be the Dot Hogs on red and FroyoTech on blue for this matchup, TC. I think it might be time to talk about predictions, because it seems like players are readying up eventually.
Yeah, because this was FroyoTech's map pick, you got to give it to FroyoTech. I mean, there's very few instances where you don't give it to FroyoTech, but I think specifically because this is their map pick, it's not that it's an odd map. We've seen a lot of bagels since its first introduction into RGL, but you know, it's not the standard 5CP Snake Water Sunshine process that you'd pick, that maybe like you pick if you just don't know what you want to do. So it's definitely kind of you know, a distinct pick. So I think FroyoTech, they got to have something in the game plan here, meaning I'm going to give this to them a straight 4-0. Maybe not the most exciting of predictions, but I think if we want to go for accuracy, that's what I predict. I hope the Dot Hogs prove me wrong, because that would mean we have a game on our hands, Godfather, as I think we are about to go live. What are your predictions?
Oh, I hate to also be springing in this direction, but I think a 4-0 is all but guaranteed for FroyoTech. Dot Hogs might be able to sneak out around maybe 2, and I would love to see it, but historically speaking, not the best odds for them. But FroyoTech versus the Dot Hogs, map 1 of this season, Grand Finals. My name's Godfather. TC is on the mic with me, Dolphin behind the scenes. We're getting in onto mid-fight number 1. FroyoTech coming in on blue, Greasy Dot Hogs on red, watching to see who takes this more aggressively at the start. And this mid-fight will unfold pretty stock standard. Logan playing a bit in front of his team right now. Donovan now just getting some high ground. Spam being exchanged. Heals about even for both sides. And things, as we might have come to expect, starting off slow, but now Logan's going to be pressuring onto the point. Donovan going for the bomb, getting onto Cramper. Kuzo is weak. Can anyone find the frags? And Jay will get 1. And Logan will find 4. And it's basically a wipe now, chasing in TC. Pauldog might go down here. No, it's going to be Dank instead. And Pauldog as well. It's a wipe.
That is a full wipe. Everyone on the Greasy Dot Hogs going down. I don't think anyone on FroyoTech went down either. That was really great stuff from FroyoTech, pushing across the point. Vanny pushed the left house, and Donovan jumped over the point to collapse on all of those weak players on the back left. Sorry. Some water went down the wrong pipe there. As we do see the Greasy Dot Hogs trying to push out here. A bit of a baffle in the house area. That is going to be Crypt taking down Banny, but they lose 3 for it. And getting that 1 pick on the Banny is definitely not the one that you would have liked to have gotten if you were only going to get 1, sorry. And now the Greasy Dot Hogs have to go back to the drawing board. They can try and go for a sack attempt because Dank did die there. So FroyoTech with a big Uber ad that they want to try and nullify. It looks like they're going to be trying to push out here, Godfather.
Yeah, it's going to be an important push out. That clock ticking down continuously here. FroyoTech have the point. It's a very fast cap, though, to come back in and get the point. So Dothog's just looking for any mode of entry. Donovan on the flank right now. He's jumping around. Both sides playing this kind of slow, but FroyoTech was happy with the slow fight last time, so Dothog's now pushing in. They can't afford to waste too much time. They immediately back off though, TC, and now we're just going to run in and have the Uber exchange.
Yeah, they are going to be taking the Uber exchange in, recognizing that they need to do something because FroyoTech already have so much time off the clock in their favor. And with Sin Karma going down to some nice stickies from Logan, you got to know that they're just going to control this point even more. That's going to be Dank surfing away, just barely staying alive for Kuso and Shamu, doing good things to clean up those soldiers now. Greasy Dothog's, they want to try and repush this, recognizing there's no soldiers. Zilly is going to die. Great stuff from Shamu, chasing those picks. Logan going to get caught out as well. And now it's going to be the first opportunity for the Greasy Dothogs to cap this up. They do take down High Five fairly late there, but Donovan is up on the Spy. You don't typically see off classes on Bagel. It's not really that great of a sniper map. And so Spy is going to be coming up for the FroyoTech Roamer.
Yeah, he's trying to get through on that right side at the moment. Gonna be... Whoa! Does he bump? Surely he bumps, and he is going to get spotted out and taken down. So no planned success there for FroyoTech's Roamer. Now the Uber coming in, getting onto Zilly, boxed into a corner, no one can find the frag! Zilly will go down as Shamu gets in. It's 2 for 2, and no heals now for FroyoTech. Dothogs trying to back up, trying to stay alive. Froyo right back in onto the point, but won't be able to chase down Dank, and so it's Uber ad for the Dothogs.
Yeah, it is going to be Uber ad for the Dothogs. It looked like Zilly was maybe about to stay alive there, but luckily does get taken down. Now we might have Crypt falling, but no, the soldiers bomb in to try and save him. It's actually being a collapse on these FroyoTech players. Logan's going to get caught out as well. Now Zilly has to try and get out of here again. No, Shamu's going to be cleaning him up. He's on a 7K right now. Shamu is just farming, and somehow, some way, the Greasy Dothogs have managed to just about tie up the time. FroyoTech still have a bit less on the clock, but Dank staying alive there, getting onto Zilly 2 times in a row is going to have big Uber at the Greasy Dothogs can now try and forward hold this. FroyoTech have got to find some way to get this Uber out of Dank, Godfather.
Yeah, to work their way forward on this right side, giving up some pressure on the other flank. So have to be careful to not get poked out by the Dothogs. Now taking a bit more space, spreading out a bit. Good plan here, but by spreading out, they also relieve some of the pressure over on that right side, and now working their way forward. Zilly avoiding some spam. Here's a bomb from Sin Karma. Now the Uber's going to be out by the Dothogs. Crypt and Donovan both going to die, so 1 soldier dead apiece, and it's going to be 80% now for FroyoTech to work back in here with Jay. Might be in a little trouble. Shamu trying to chase the Scout and Soldier from behind. Zilly is going to die again, and was so close to Uber here. That is just heartbreaking.
That is indeed heartbreaking because that was not a good Uber from the Greasy Dothogs. They tried to go aggressively. They didn't get onto Zilly whatsoever. They really only found 1 pick, and it was even worse because they had the worst of the spawn trades at that moment. But really great stuff from the flank players. Shamu just recognizing the situation, making his way through, wrapping around, and getting onto Zilly. FroyoTech are going to be able to cap it up, but they are at Uber just sad because Dank was able to stay alive there. Now, Greasy Dothogs trying to repush in here. They don't have Uber just quite yet, so this is a dry fight for the moment. FroyoTech recognizing this. Donovan trying to go in behind, maybe trying to make a play for his team. He is going to be trying to get in through the midpoint. He's not able to, so he does get cleaned up. Now that's an opening pick for the Greasy Dothogs. Shamu wants to try and take this Uber super deep through the right house. Everyone backs up. FroyoTech recognizing that they are still at Uber, and they're going to have to give up the point, but the Uber comes out, Godfather.
Yeah, just trying to rush in, and when FroyoTech didn't respect the ad, they try to catch him out for it. 17 seconds on the clock. FroyoTech now has. They will certainly get another fight here. Trying to come back. Dothogs have surprised us early on with the amount of success they've had. Zilly getting pretty weak. The Uber now going to be popped out. 3 seconds on the clock. Dank is dead. Jay goes huge. FroyoTech. Oh, they C9! Dothogs will win. FroyoTech doesn't touch the point.
What? Oh my god.
Dothogs, they sneak out that win. What was that, TC?
They don't get on the cap. That was looking so good for FroyoTech. Jay was getting onto Dank. He was hiding behind for so long, and because he was going for that play, he just didn't play the cap. You got to play the cap. That's the name of the game, Godfather. And Greasy Dothogs going up 1 round instantly. Our predictions are thrown to the ground. The Greasy Dothogs are in this game.
They are ahead in this game. Dank though takes a fair bit of damage on the mid. Has to be a little careful here. FroyoTech will probably have some adjustments to make and get back in here. Banny gonna die, not the adjustment they needed. Crypt is dead, but behind is Rikuso. Such a menace in this game so far. He picks up Logan, demo down, and Dothogs getting in, even down 2. Gonna cap up this point, so quick to do so. And Dothogs, again, eking out a lead here.
Yeah, they are eking out a league, capping it up first. And now it is going to be FroyoTech trying to re-aggress here. Getting some good cap time on the point is going to be High Five, just playing that well. But now the Uber comes in aggressively from Shamu. Now finally Zilly popping so much later. Much better for the side of FroyoTech. They should be able to collapse onto Dank. What should do? Everyone dying on the Dothogs now. It's only going to be Crypt up and alive for Kuso, trying to make a desperation play, but he gets cleaned up. And once again, a full wipe. Everyone on the Dothogs going down there, Godfather.
Yeah, what a wipe. FroyoTech does make the adjustments and just absolutely mulch the Dothogs now with ad, about 30 ad for FroyoTech to try to hold off. Look at this flank behind. This is Banny. He's a menace. He's behind. He's one shot. Misses the first, actually, hitting the second, not getting onto the medic. Banny now onto the medic. But Sin Karma gonna go down. Banny finding one. So many people looking his way. The medic just charging at him. Dank is going to be bullied into a corner, and Logan finds the pipes. Rikuso, though,
Rikuso in behind.
What is that? Crypt. Oh my lord. Anarchy TF2, ladies and gentlemen. What is Dothogs doing?
That was, I mean, that was just like a few shots away from being even Ubers right there, but good job on Zilly, juking and staying alive there. Now the Dothogs have to try and get this Uber out of FroyoTech, who have a much better time. Currently, they only have 2 minutes left. Dothogs 2:30. Now, Greasy Dothogs want to try and get a bit of cap time, maybe try and force out a play from FroyoTech to maybe deny them. High Five standing on the point, good stuff there, just trying to deny any easy cap time for the Dothogs. They are going to be building up and behind. Looks like they're maybe just trying to let things equalize out. Now it's going to be Sin Karma going, bombing in.
Oh, Sin Karma just kind of isolated there, and now the follow-up is way too late. Crypt will get the force. In what world do you pop to that? But Zilly will, rather than dropping. Shamu and Dank, the only ones alive, building on their way out. But that was just feed in one after the next and still getting the force somehow. Really lucky there for the Dothogs.
Yeah, you know, Zilly did take a lot of damage, and I think he was just maybe worried about the rocket and the fall damage, but losing one early on is not how you want to try and start that pick. Greasy Dothogs still should be trying to take this forward. They know they have Uber ad. Looks like Shamu is going to be trying to take it super deep now, coming back out onto the point, maybe taking that for a bit of cover, but the great bomb from Donovan going to be getting the force out. They might be able to pick up one as well. Jay in the backline should be cleaned up here, but he's staying alive for so long.
Oh, he was on a 10K, look to make it 11 even more, but won't be able to. Now getting in are the soldiers from Dothogs. Paul Dog going to immediately die. Banny trades out, meaning 2 down for both sides, but Logan is up when Sin Karma is not. More spam in favor of Froyo. Dothogs do have the cap, but FroyoTech only 41 seconds, trying to even things up score-wise. Shamu might be in a bit of trouble, has to back away. TC, this fight just getting started.
Yeah, but now the Uber going to be used out here from FroyoTech. High Five running forward. Going to be able to take down Shamu. Dank should be... No, Dank does die. That's High Five going to be cleaning him up as well. Now a little bit of a scrappy fight. Sin Karma trying to stay alive for their life. High Five is in the backlines. Rakusa going to be doing a 1v1 with him, getting the better of him. Now, this is much better for FroyoTech. Zilly staying alive. Good Uber used from High Five, getting all the way onto Dank, which was the objective of that Uber. Now Greasy Dothogs in a bit of a pickle. They gotta try and get on this point. Only 30 seconds left for FroyoTech, and Greasy Dothogs have to hold it for so much longer.
Yeah, big hold has to come in here for the Dothogs. 15 seconds for FroyoTech. They can kind of just play with their ad. Crypt's gonna get in, trying to land somewhere nice here. Zilly has to rotate away. Paul Dog gonna get very weak. Dothogs did get the cap, but only temporarily, as FroyoTech just getting right back on it. Such a quick cap, and Dank is dead! Donovan, the hero needed for Froyo fans, and that will secure round 2 for FroyoTech. 1-1.
Yeah, 1-1, but you got to think that was so much more dominant from the side of FroyoTech. They really were just able to get on to that point, and once they got that point, they didn't really ever let it go. Sure, the Dogs capped it up, but FroyoTech were able to cap it back up almost immediately. So the Greasy Hogs got to try and adapt almost already to FroyoTech's adaptations of their good first round. But now we go on to a third round, Godfather. Can be interesting to see how this mid-fight plays out.
Yeah, Hogs have some thinking to do after FroyoTech kind of unravels their game plan and executes very cleanly in the fight. Zilly took a bit of damage early on here. Shamu now getting pressured out, was standing on a trap and he ate some more damage. Paul Dog looking to get forward, so is Grams onto Logan right now. Will the rocket hit? No, the melee's gonna be out instead. 2, now 3, dying 4 as Jay cleans up. Dang, so many dead on the side of the Hogs. Someone needs to find Zilly, but almost impossible here for Rikuso, who is dueling Logan in the most passive. He's not shooting, he's just going for Zilly. He goes for it, but no, he's signed down. What were the mind games there on the side of Rikuso?
Yeah, Rikuso was juking as well, kind of recognizing the priority target was Zilly. He does get Zilly down super weak there, but luckily Logan with the melee can be able to keep his medic safe and alive, meaning FroyoTech have big Uber out, and looks like they want to try and go forward here. High five, going forward, taking a lot of space here. It is going to be Crypt in from behind, just kind of wrapping around, doing a bit of damage to these FroyoTech players, but no one does fall, so FroyoTech can be able to mount a forward hold here as Rikuso falls as well, so Hogs have to kind of wait for all their players to be up to either take the Uber exchange or to try and go for a forced attempt on Zilly's life, because right now we're just kind of hold up and spawn waiting.
Yeah, Hogs really need to find the right way out here. Surprised we haven't seen any off glasses quite yet, but the night is still young for FroyoTech, and Hogs still have a whole lot of TF2 to play. We're lucky that we're getting started early tonight, because imagine if this was an 11 p.m. match, TC. We'd be in for a long one, but here we go. The Uber coming out from the Hogs, just gunning down Banny early. Donovan going to be in the air. Landing on Shamu was Logan actually hitting those pipes. And that is the Uber fully expended by the Hogs. They don't even get pressure onto the point. They drop 2, and the Uber's going to be right back in from FroyoTech, getting right onto Dank, who hits a nice surf, but will not survive as Jay is too clean and picks up his 5th K onto the medic.
Yeah, Rikuso trying to make a desperation play onto Logan, but Logan is being protected by Jay as well. And now this is FroyoTech just taking so much ground, so much space. The Greasy Hogs have not capped it once. FroyoTech have already eliminated half of the time necessary off the clock in their favor. So the Greasy Hogs have to really try and do something. Luckily, Ubers are technically even though FroyoTech did use so much later. But now with Rikuso going down early, Crypt going down as well, this is just going to be, oh my god, a few going in the favor of the Greasy Hogs, but not quite enough. Shamu has got to escort Dank the heck out of here. There's no one to keep them up and alive, so Dank can be able to stay alive, but there's only 60 seconds left on the clock in the favor of FroyoTech, Godfather.
Yeah, time ticking down. Hogs have been unsuccessful so far in getting in this round. FroyoTech has Uber. Hogs very close to it. I'm expecting to see the soldiers go forward. We've seen it a few times now from the Hogs. Try to open things up, get onto Zilly if possible. Zilly just standing around that grassy area at the moment as Hogs pressure in. Get a little bit of time on the clock. 30 seconds for FroyoTech right now before they go up 2-1 here. The Uber's now even. A soldier up in the air, that's Donovan. He's not finding anything. Rikuso pretty weak, has rotated away. It's actually 3 weak players for the Hogs. They cannot find their way in yet. Now the Uber's going to be out, popping immediately back was FroyoTech. And no frags found in the chaos quite yet. I'm sure there will be some soon as time is ticking down. TC, this fight seemingly not ending.
Yeah, it doesn't end. No one dies there, but the Greasy Hogs were just barely able to get control of the point, which they desperately needed to, considering FroyoTech only have 10 seconds left in their favor. So now FroyoTech are just going to be able to cap it up with no real resistance from the Greasy Hogs. Now they're going to be trying to go for a desperation play. Zilly is super weak, but everyone's just dying on the Greasy Hogs. They lose 2, they lose 3. FroyoTech are going to be able to block this point from getting capped up in the first place. It's now they're on the aggressive. Now Sin Karma going down. It's going to be Dank as well, falling down super weak. He gets taken down as well, and that should be FroyoTech walking away in this first map 2-1.
Yeah, 2 more rounds to win it. Honestly, this is not super surprising to me. I mean, Hog's take an early lead, and then FroyoTech is able to adapt. It's one of the things that is so unique about FroyoTech in a lot of people's eyes is that their ability to adapt on the fly is just better than almost every other team to ever do it. We're in on mid number 4. FroyoTech a 2-1 advantage on map number 1. Already have a map win advantage for winning upper finals. And Zilly got pretty weak there on this mid. Finds the pack. Now landing in. Vanny's dead. Turning out for Pauldog, but Rakuso wants to fall. It's behind. He dies to Donovan. I thought he killed himself off of splash damage, but that is not the case. Zilly unscathed. And now the collapse onto Dank, who's in a lot of trouble here. It may very well be the medic going down. Not getting chased as Pauldog comes Dank's rescue. But pretty much everyone else dying on the Hogs there. FroyoTech will get back in, get this cap, and start their holds.
Yeah, they are going to do so. Luckily, Dank didn't die there, so they are going to have even Ubers as the Greasy Hogs have to try and find the way to re-push this. Now, going to be getting a bit of cap time on the point right here, maybe trying to bait out FroyoTech to do something, and it does work. That's going to be the Uber used from High Five, the counter Uber used from the Greasy Hogs, looking maybe a bit better for the Hogs that FroyoTech are all corralled into this one little area. Luckily, no one does die. It's actually going to be Pauldog who dies on the side of the Greasy Hogs. Now FroyoTech going to be trying to immediately recap up the point. They take down Crypt as well. Really great fadeaway bomb. Jay is in behind again somehow. This man is just a constant nuisance for the Hogs. As now, yeah, Donovan does bomb in. It's going to be Banny as well. So much damage. Can Dank stay alive? Oh, Logan!
Logan, no! He picks up his 3rd there. Sin Karma, Dank both going down. I mean, we were talking about who had the advantage demo-wise going into this. You were saying Logan. I think that is clearly the answer with a play like that.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing about FroyoTech. We saw, you know, Greasy Hogs kind of just holding on. It seemed like they were maybe going to be able to get out of there, but that's the thing about FroyoTech. Everyone on the team has just got the ability to make plays out of nowhere. Logan going huge for his team.
Uber in, TC getting onto Medic immediately. High Five just gunning down Dank. And now rotating back around, trying to take out Rakuso, getting good damage in. Will find it. Crypt and Shamu both also going to fall. Just 2 alive. The salvage from Pauldog. Can he find it? No! The medic will live. Zilly keeping their players alive. Now re-healing. Banny is going so far forward at this point. Spamming into spawn.
Yeah, he is just maybe trying to deny those crit heals. Anything he can do to make the Greasy Hogs' life that much worse right now, which it kind of is, because sure, they did cap it up once early, but FroyoTech have just been looking so dominant ever since that second round is the Greasy Hogs trying to do. But we've got 3 FroyoTech players in behind. They're just punching on the Greasy Hogs. It's just a collapse. Now there's only Pauldog and Sin Karma up and about. It's only going to be Pauldog now. Sin Karma falls. High Five just guns him down in one of these side rooms, and that is going to be FroyoTech walking away. Really great, like triple flank from FroyoTech. I think it was Banny, Jay, and someone else, maybe Donovan, just sending everyone on the Greasy Hogs back to the respawn room.
I mean, Jay is such a difference maker. Just watching his POV, he's hitting all these crazy shots. The Uber out for the side of FroyoTech. Doesn't look like they're getting too far forward. Jay lurking though, looking to get in onto Sin Karma with the help of his soldier. Banny will be there to find the frag. Now the question is, where are these players behind Pauldog going to go down? Banny dies to Crypt over in spawn TC. Bit of an out of position fight there, I say.
Yeah, Crypt was probably trying to go in behind there, and Banny recognized it, getting the trade. Technically a bit better for the Greasy Hogs because they have the faster respawners, but at a certain point it almost doesn't matter because there's only 5 seconds left on the clock in the favor of FroyoTech. The Greasy Hogs, you have to go now. FroyoTech recognizing this, backing up, realizing they don't have to play in the Greasy Hogs aggression. It is going to be Pauldog going down as well. Greasy Hogs get up the cap, and now they've got the slower respawners, meaning FroyoTech should be able to just walk forward here. High Five was on a 6. He does get taken down. Jay's on an 8K though. He might get another. He's in a 2v1, but it doesn't matter because FroyoTech cap it up, and it's 3-1 Godfather.
Jay is absolutely nutty. I mean, High Five as well. We had, what, an 8K and a 7K at the end of that round. That is just unacceptable for the side of the Hogs. They need to be pressuring out these scouts a little bit better. We'll see if they're able to. Froyotech looking to close out map 1 and go up 2-0. We're in on what might be our last mid-fight. And Logan playing pretty aggressive early on. Crypt is up in the air, just baiting here. Now, East Coast Soldier Poldog will also bait, but now going aggressive, getting onto Zilly. One rocket, not enough. Some pipes being hit by Logan. He's going to take down Rakuso, and Zilly escapes unscathed. It's just Logan going down.
Yeah, it is, and you've already got Donovan in behind. They should know about it, but he does so much damage to Sin Karma. He's still alive, and that's going to be Shamu being taken down as well. Luckily, Dank does stay alive, so he is going to be able to get out back to his spawn, so Ubers are going to be even, but it seems like it doesn't matter. Froyotech are just able to send players in behind at all times, and they're able to commit and execute the collapse onto these Greasy Dot Hogs players, so Greasy Dot Hogs have to try and watch these flanks a bit better to make sure no one on Froyotech just has the easy wraparound on them as they're looking like they're trying to push out here, Godfather.
Looking for the push out. It's kind of a must-do push out. Can't be wasting too much time. It's an even Uber situation. They're going to be pushing into the flank house, trying to aggress onto the point that way. See if there's a pop. Now there is. Poldog dies before the Uber is used. And Dot Hogs pretty much find nothing. Bandy goes fast onto the scout, gets mulched. Crypt and Shmoo both dead though. Now Rakuso falling. It's 2 for 3. And the aggression from Froyotech paying off as they now work their way forward as well.
Yeah, they do, and once again, Froyotech just seems so commanding right now on the pace of the game. Greasy Dot Hogs not really allowed an opportunity to thrive as they're trying to get in through this left side. Jay just takes down Sin Karma. He does die as well, but no demo for the Greasy Dot Hogs. But Zilly actually goes down. Mark my words, now the Greasy Dot Hogs have an opportunity. They need to try and keep Dank alive, but everyone's trying to get in, and it's going to be the collapse of the Froyotech players. They get onto Dank, recognizing the objective, the mission. They do it, execute it perfectly. Now it's going to be a bit of an Uber ad for Zilly, technically. We do have the Greasy Dot Hogs players just trying to get onto the cap. They do cap it up, but you know, because of the medic responding faster for Froyotech, they are going to be able to have the heals quicker and might be able to get this point. Greasy Dot Hogs trying to defend for as long as they can, though, Godfather.
Yeah, time off the clock, really important here for the Dot Hogs. Froyotech already have a considerable advantage. Oh, Logan and I5 gonna go down to the traps. Now the aggression coming in from Poldog, getting onto Jay, not finding the kill yet.
Zilly?
Now rushing at Zilly. Zilly dodging everything, but can't dodge that. On the other
Dank
side of things,
goes
Jay
down.
gets in, and he's gonna get Dank. Everybody falling, but Dot Hogs staying on top here. Despite their medic death, they get a good play, and will get onto this cap. Don't want to delay Shamu, so they have to wait, but what a play there.
That is indeed such a crucial play from so many players there. Now it looks like Froyotech going to be trying to immediately refight this. Greasy Dot Hogs, though, having their players up in preparation to do so as well. High Five going to be getting some early cap time here. And now they're just going to be trying to see how much they can get before the Greasy Dot Hogs respond. They get about halfway, so good stuff here, just trying to play the point. No Ubers, so this is a dry fight for both of the teams right now. And it is, they actually do manage to cap it up just under kind of the Greasy Dot Hogs' nose, as now we have a bunch of players going in behind. They're not going to find one onto Zilly, who is going to stay alive, but Poldog getting one onto Logan. Now the Greasy Dot Hogs walking forward. High Five falling down super low as well.
What a pipe from Sin Karma from downtown. Gets the frag. Crypt the only one to die on the side of the Dot Hogs. They have the point. They have full Uber ad, and Froyotech faltering just a little bit there. Zilly unable to escape the demise given by Sin Karma there. Donovan gonna die early on Froyo's attempt to get out here. Look at this rotation in. I'm expecting an Uber to be used. Zilly in a 1v3 will die the Uber out, and it's nearly a team wipe. Jay, the only one alive, but when Jay the one alive, you gotta be careful.
You do have to be careful, and also, even though the Dot Hogs were able to get onto Zilly, they only have like a 20% Uber ad because the spawns are just so quick on Bagel, so they still have to play this perfectly. They still have more time. They have to work off the clock instead of Froyotech, but a really great opening. Now Poldog in a bit of a scuffle. He is going to go down, so that's not good for the side of Greasy Dot Hogs. They got to give up this forward hold. Crypt super weak as well. They are going to be able to pick off 5, so no pockets. Albany going down as well. Great stickies from Sin Karma. Maybe that was a trap, not being spotted out there. So Sin Karma on the 6K, he's popping off right now. Crypt going into maybe a bit too far forward. Logan with some nice pipes onto him, but the Greasy Dot Hugs have got to continue this hold, Godfather, if they want to take this round.
Yeah, now finally working with time advantage. They have their Uber. They could go right now, but at this point it's very risky getting with the Uber charge used. And Zilly taken down by Shamu, who gets a 6K out of it. And the frags continue. Crypt dying is consolation, but will there be anyone from Froyo to touch the point in 10 seconds? It doesn't look like it. Here's a scout getting absolutely demolished. His high five goes down, and 10 seconds on the clock. Full Uber for the Dot Hogs. Player disad, but they're going to be able to hold on to this, it looks like. Maybe opting for the refight instead.
Yes, which kind of makes a bit more sense because now they only have to cap it once. They don't have to just delay and deny Fryotech for maybe a bit longer. They have Uber ad. They know this. I don't mind this play. It's just the question is, are they going to be able to convert? No reason that they shouldn't. It's all just going to come down to how they want to trade this Uber. Are they going to be able to get time on the cap beforehand? Now Shamu walking forward, and they are just going to immediately use the Uber. Sin Karma flying in. They should be able to get on the Logan. He's so weak, but no, they're not going to be able to keep as well. Fryotech coming in for the recollapse. They got the better players, and now they're just gonna be able to wipe all of these Greasy Dot Hog people. Now it's just gonna be disaster for the Greasy Dot Hogs. That was looking so good for them. Paul Dog gets one on the high five, but that's not gonna be enough. We do have the refight coming in. Oh,
Paul Dog, he got some time back onto the clock here. We need the scouts to get there in time. Double overtime situation. Rikuso doesn't touch. The Uber's going to be out. Paul Dog is on the cap right now, getting some time for his team. Now getting stopped, as Crypt will probably be the next to touch. It's now or never. Shamu not going to be there. Can Crypt touch? No! Froyotech in a nail biter at the end will take map 1 4-1 in this best of 5. That means they just need one more map to win this grand finals. We will go to a quick break and then come back for logs and talking about map 2. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for this grand finals matchup. We have some time to look at the logs, but first, take a quick look at this fantastic new merch over at shop.rgl.gg. I baited Dolphin. I told him we were talking about the merch first. Look at this crabtastic and the Scatterdelic designs. They're so amazing. I absolutely love these two. The scattergun, that trip coming down, absolutely amazing. And craptastic. It's just so cute, TC. So a lot there, but now we will take a look at logs, and there's some pretty crazy numbers in there, TC. Talk us through it.
J Yunpei, 48-7, 409 DPM. He died less than either medic. Zilly died 9 times. Jay only dying 7 times. He stayed alive longer than the medic. He had 48 kills. That's insane. He had a 7 KD. Since the man is unstoppable. Like, it's hard to put in words how good this guy is. And everyone in the server is good. They're great. Jay is phenomenal. And that's not to say that he's the only reason why FroyoTech won. You look at High Five, 31-15. Logan had an excellent game as well. But when you're the Greasy Dot Hogs and you're going up against a guy who can get 48-7, no sweat, 409 DPM, that's just such a tall ask. But, we got to say the Greasy Dot Hogs, they put up a pretty good showing, but that last Uber Godfather, that was Greasy Dot Hog's round to take. They had it in the palm of their hand, but the fact that they just used the Uber, they should have played the point there. They should have forced FroyoTech to try and stop them capping it from under their noses, because they didn't need to use their Uber right away there. They knew that Zilly didn't have just quite yet. It's not the fact that Zilly was at 70%. Zilly was only like 30 or 40. So they could have played the cap a little bit and baited out FroyoTech's aggression, then used the Uber in, because FroyoTech knew Greasy Dot Hogs had the Uber and that they were gonna use it, and so Greasy Dot Hogs just using immediately there, I don't think was the correct play. But at the end of the day, that was Bagel. We're going on to process, but I
have one more thing to talk about.
That's true. Go for it.
So to continue singing the praises of Jay, not only was it 409 DPM, as some people were pointing out in chat, I noticed this too, 155 damage taken per minute. That's second lowest only to Zilly by 1 damage taken per minute. He is taking no damage here, staying alive, outputting all of this damage, all of these frags. He has 75% scattergun accuracy. Do you know how hard it is to have 75% scattergun accuracy in a match? That is unheard of. An unknown player would probably get demo checked for 75% accuracy if someone caught that in their logs. Jay is on absolute fire, but now that's enough of that. We're on map number 2. Greasy Dot Hogs have picked this one against FroyoTech. Predictions are up, and all I have to ask you, TC, is what do you think the scoreline is going to be?
I mean, you still gotta say it's gonna be FroyoTech. Like, I would love for the Greasy Dot Hogs to get back in here, and to be fair to them, they did make it pretty competitive on that first round and even on the last round, because they brought it down basically to overtime for both teams, showing that when they are able to get into it, they're able to stay in control of the round. So they definitely have the ability to take a couple of rounds off of FroyoTech, maybe especially on their own map pick. They might be able to make it a bit closer. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, and the benefit of its doubt is still in FroyoTech's favor. I think FroyoTech are going to take it 3-2, but a close 3-2, and I think the Greasy Dot Hogs, if they want to try and win it, they gotta worry about Jay. It's just so difficult though, because even try and focus down Jay, you've got so many other players on FroyoTech who can pop off. But I mean, we saw it last time. Jay on the sniper against the Covenant, he got 44 headshots. The man, or 22 headshots, my bad, not 44. Even more worse. I mean, at that point, just back check him. But no, 22 headshots on Jay. You gotta worry if he's gonna do it again. Sure, Kev did initiate it, going sniper himself, but you gotta know, even if you get ahead against FroyoTech, they can just pop Jay over onto sniper, and then you've got a whole different ball game to worry about. Sure, you've got some people who can snipe on the side of the Greasy Dot Hogs. Paul Dog can, Shamu can, Rakuso can, but not to the same effect of Jay. So that's going to be something got to worry about, as we do have some more unboxings going on here. Post your predictions in the chat. We can see if Dolphin gets an unusual. He was able to last time.
I'll unbox. I'll do it too, man. I just need the key money.
Of course, and you know, maybe we can get a 2 for 2, 2 unusuals over 2 days. Who said that unboxing crates wasn't a sure way of making money?
Oh, TC, you can't go that far now. That's dangerous. Anyway, chat, let us know who you want to win in the poll. Absolutely free to vote in it. We got like 600 viewers, so let us know. But we are on to the first mid of map number 3, Froyotech, looking to close it out and crown themselves grand champions. TC, take us through this mid fight.
Of course, we do have Donovan getting aggressive there, doing some early spam damage to the team. He is going to have to jump back to his own team to get healed up, as now the Greasy Dot Hogs going to be rotating over to the left by the enemy team Sewer, as Froyotech do the same in response. We do have Donovan fighting Crypt in the backlines. Donovan should be able to get the better of that, but it's going to be Paul Dog dying first. Banny dies in return, as Crypt does come back up to the rest of his team. So Donovan in the backline. Zilly fairly weak as well, so this might be the call for the Greasy Dot Hogs to try and do something. It's going to be Froyotech instead aggressing, boxing everyone on the Greasy Dot Hogs in this corner. They take down Donovan, so now they might be able to get out of this kind of a death corner on process, as now the Ubers are going to be expended first from Froyotech. However, Dank still has, this is just going to be an Uber for Froyotech to get out of mid. Now the Uber being used from the side of the Greasy Dot Hogs. They should be able to get onto Logan. He does take down Rakuso though before he dies. That doesn't nullify his death, but that's still good on Logan. Going to be able to get one there, so that does mean probably the Greasy Dot Hogs not going to be able to go forward, as there is still a player in behind, and you know who it is. It's Jay.
Jay. I've been watching Jay Cam for basically this entire mid. He's just on his own little adventure, lurking in Sewer right now, as Dot Hogs is going to cap this up. Rakuso will be respawning. He knows this, is looking for the 1v1. Rakuso was hitting all the 1v1 victories in the lower match, so we'll see if he can win it against Jay here. But yeah, things pretty slow right now as the Dot Hogs try to figure out how to get rid of Jay.
Yeah, normally when there's a player behind, sometimes you can just ignore, but with Jay, they're just so deadly. And now Sin Karma goes down at Froyotech, recognized by Greasy Dot Hogs are distracted. They get through the chokes. They're just going to be able to take this for free. Now, if you're the Greasy Dot Hogs, you got to worry about where Jay is, so he doesn't collapse on you.
There he is!
Right, he gets into IT, he gets onto Shamu. Jay is still alive. He's going to be able to make it back out to the rest of his team. It's like he was there from the start, and now the Greasy Dot Hogs are down a player. Froyotech just walking forward, recognizing the space is there for them. They get onto Sin Karma. They force the Uber out early, and they're not going to have to use Zilly so far away, playing it super safe. And now Froyotech have managed to create Uber ad for them as they walk in on the second. They're not going to even have to use on second. Donovan does trade with Crypt and IT, but that doesn't really matter, as Froyotech looking to take this Uber ad, Godfather.
Yeah, big ad, big opportunity to get in here, get the first round on this map. Again, Froyotech map, a map win here wins them the title, and with a player behind, they're going to use in aggressively here. Paul Dog is dead. The gun now going down, playing this right side. No pressure onto the cap quite yet. Rakuso challenging high five right now. Now a bomb from Crypt onto Logan. Oh, Logan hits the air pipes. He's taken out 2 already. Crypt also falling. Silly is 2 health, but somehow will live, and Froyotech will get round 1. I saw that health bar at literally 2 HP. Zilly just doesn't die.
Yeah, Zilly just doesn't die, and unfortunately for the Dot Hogs, everyone else on their team seems to. So that is going to be the first round for Froyotech, taking it pretty dominantly on the Dot Hogs map. We're going to have to see if they're going to be able to respond on the second mid-fight, Godfather.
Getting into it here. Banny jumping aggressively early on. Not finding much. Now in a bit of trouble. Has to back away. Paul Dog is looking for some heals right now. Donovan jumping across. High five, very weak. It's very low right now. Not going to get pressured out. Finds the heals in time. About 65, 70% right now. Both sides.
Super weak.
Silly is 1 and will go down. Rakuso finally finds the frag. There is pressure into choke. And TC, just like that, the Dot Hogs have a mid-fight 1.
Yeah, I will say that the Dothogs do seem to be a bit better on the mid fight, so that's probably why they picked it. They're confident in their mids, and they're showing they've won both of them so far. The question is, are they going to be able to convert? And this is one of the scenarios where you have to convert, Godfather. You've got full Uber ad, you've won mid, you've kept your medic alive. These are the scenarios where you just walk in, claim your free round, and go on to the next. But you just know that FroyoTech are going to mount an amazing defense. Jay up on Sniper. They go through one, so he's not going to be able to get a shot off. He does go back into the forward spawns. They haven't taken gun yet. Now they just finally do so. Everyone on FroyoTech is locked in the spawns. Get on the cap, someone. But no, they're just going to be playing this a bit too slowly. Yeah, and now they're just going to have to try and back out here.
Oh, Silly is dead! Shamu! I think he might have come in from heaven and absolutely murks Zilly. That is the hero play that Shamu has been looking for so far. Making it happen now. That might be a failed last push, but it will be full ad for the Dothogs in the next fight.
It is going to be full ad, but I mean, sure, they managed to secure full ad, but they already had full ad, Godfather. And so, sure, it's great if you can get full ad, but you want to get the round. And so they've got to figure out what went wrong on that last push so they don't make the same mistake. They were pretty slow to take down the gun. They were pretty slow to get onto the point. You either got to focus on the players or focus on the point. They did neither. So let's hope and see they can make some corrections as they go in again with this last push, Godfather.
Yeah, the Uber's going to be coming out, trying to pressure down that gun early. Finally going to go down now. Good pressure onto the point by Rakuso. He's getting great cap time. Vandy now on it right now. Shamu will get the cap and evening things up after 6 played. FroyoTech Dothogs 1-1 on map number 2.
That's exactly it. They fixed their mistake perfectly. They got onto the cap early. Good reflash from Dank to keep their scouts alive. And then it was Rakuso just walking on there, going to be able to convert. And those are what you like to see. If you are the Dothogs, those are the pushes that you got to win with the full ad. Now we're going to have to see if their good mids are going to be able to continue forward or if FroyoTech are going to be able to adapt. Looking like it is going to be a bit of a fake bomb from Paul Dog, making a bit of space for his team right now as they are going to be once again rotating over to the left, maybe trying to spam down Logan just a little bit. FroyoTech kind of all clumped up by their IT. They're taking a good damage. Now the soldiers bomb in. Zilly's disconnected. There's no one. He's not healing. He's not so weak. He does get spammed down to the scattergun shots of Shamu.
Ain't in trouble.
Yeah, so weak.
Oh, the bomb doesn't connect. It looks
Donovan's
like
on
Tank will live. No, but Donovan in again. 3 alive for the Dothogs, but they have heals, and now Banny is lurking above. It looks like the Dothogs know. They don't know. Banny going to be landing. One rocket gets the force. A great play by Banny. And honestly, if I'm the Dothogs, I'm flashing as fast as possible, trying to get that Uber expended, so it might be closer to even. It'll only be about 10% difference on the Uber here, so it won't matter in the end. But Dothogs getting mid, and now going to have to try to make this fight 2-3 work.
Yeah, they are going to have to. Good job at getting high 5 there, because that means FroyoTech are not going to repush. They're just going to be setting on their second. If you have a Dothogs, though, you got to kind of get aggressive here, recognizing that the Pocket Scout is down, which is what they are doing. Going to be sending in their soldiers, trying to take as much space as they possibly can, recognizing it is a dry fight. They do trade out 1-for-1. Logan taking a bit of damage. It is going to be on to Silly. He misses the first rocket, but Rakuso is in. He doesn't get it. And
Jay is too clean.
He is indeed. It's now it's going to be Sin Karma and Dank going to be walking out of there. Good job on Dank staying alive, but he's not healing at all, so it's going to be Uber ad for FroyoTech, Godfather.
Yeah, I mean, to not heal that much through that fight, it was 10 ad, now it's artificially 20. Just not able to build as quickly as needed here, but it won't end up mattering. Dothogs get their Uber in time. It's just a spam battle through Choke TC, where FroyoTech will likely start getting ready to sack some players and maybe go for an exchange.
Yeah, FroyoTech really good at just converting any single player ad into a whole push, as now they are going to lose one in IT. They might lose Jay as well. He's in a little bit of a scuffle with 2 of the players, and they are going to be able to 2v1 him down. Good stuff from the Dothogs playing together as a team. They're going to be taking down the flank players of FroyoTech, as now they are going to be trying to make their way in here. They are going to be able to take down Banny, who unfortunately doesn't jump to the correct spot. The Uber is going to get forced out from FroyoTech. They are going to get Dank, really great bomb from Donovan, forcing out that Uber. High five, gonna be able to pick one onto Crypt. He's just staying alive on the high ground right now. He's not being taken down. Now in a 1v1 with Shamu, the Freyotech players are gonna be able to walk back in through choke, but a lot of damage. Dank with the nice arrow onto High Five, finally taking him down. You do see Shamu on the chase onto High Five, but he's not gonna take that 1v1 maybe for the better. It's just gonna be a mid capped up for the side of the Greasy Dot Hogs. Freyotech want to try and recontest here, Godfather.
Yeah, they're not even gonna have the chance to gap. Donovan's so weak. Bulldog has to jump away. Oh, the pipes from Logan pick up Sin Karma. Demo down, Demo diff perhaps. Good damage from Bulldog though. He's gonna find Donovan. The cap does come through from Dank. Rikuso gets forward and Bulldog gets silly. And just like that, the Dot Hogs back in this. 20 left to play. Jay gonna get in though. He's gonna pick up Crypt. It's just Dank and Shamu. Shamu cannot likely win. I don't know. Some weak players might be thinking he has a chance at winning this 1v3.
Yeah, it is weak. Shamu's just trying to do everything he can to delay the cap up, which Freyotech are just going to be able to eke out, but with Logan going down, it might not even be worth the cap in the first place. Sure, they're going to have to slow down Greasy Dot Hogs just a little bit, but with no demo means that there's no sticky traps that the Greasy Dot Hogs have to worry about. Donovan is, however, hiding in IT. He's going to be trying to go for a play onto the point, but he does get spotted. He's not going to be trying to take that 2v1. He should get gunned down in behind, and with that pick, oh, he does get a trade, which might slow down the Greasy Dot Hogs a little bit because that's about enough time for Logan to get up here, but the Greasy Dot Hogs are going to be using this Uber ad that they have. They do take down Jay. They might be able to find one onto Banny into lobby. They should. Yeah, that's going to be an easy cleanup for Shamu, as now they're going to be able to get it onto second. Uber ad for the side of Freyotech, but they are down enough players that I don't think they're going to be able to do anything, Godfather, as they're just in.
They're just in. Furyu doesn't have yet. They're 90%. Can they pressure onto the point as long as they keep the medic alive? The scout doing so much work, but Bulldog weak. Rikuso getting the force is really big, but Dank is dead. And now Crypt will be trying to escape. I think they thought they could just brute force their way through and get the cap, but that is not the case. Crypt is out in sewer, and Freyotech will hold last and get out onto their second.
You know, I don't mind that because, sure, they did lose Dank, but luckily they were able to get the force out from Zillion. If you saw, they had a bit of cap time on the point. Those are the plays that they gotta try and do, especially against Freyotech, who you know are gonna do the exact same thing against them. So now Freyotech, recognizing they still have a bit of ad here, Podlog just barely gonna be able to get out, and now Freyotech gonna be able to cap up onto mid. Good stuff, however, from Dank, building extremely well, and that Uber ad from Freyotech is not gonna be that big. So if Freyotech try and take it in here, they might be in for a nasty surprise. They're just going to be trying to get a bit of space before they even have initiating the dry fight, just trying to see what they can get here.
Ball talk up in the air. Oh, he fades, does not go for the bomb, doesn't commit is the word I was looking for. Zilly over and Al-Qaeda right now, very weak, stuffed into corner. Shamu looking for the Uber, now landing on Tank is Logan. And Donovan, and the pipes will kill Shamu. Rikuso picking up Donovan. And that is full ad now for Freyotech, keeping the space and working their way forward onto 2.
Yeah, that is going to be Bulldog picking up Jay. I would have liked to see the Dot Hogs maybe try and go for a sack attempt onto Zilly, considering they knew where he was. He was just locked up in that sewer area. And they did have a pick up on Donovan. A good job on Bulldog getting the other pick up onto Jay. And that might have bought enough time. Dank is at about 70%. They've got to hold for just a little bit here if they want to get this Uber. Freyotech now making their way into lobby to try and make it 2-1, Godfather.
2-1 would be great for Freyotech here. Uber expended, gun is down. No frags otherwise, good pressure onto point. Rikuso now working their way forward. Dank is the target, the Uber's gonna be out, Zilly is dead. Shamu finding some frags there as most of Freyotech will fall. Banny looking to escape, he's the last one alive. Freyotech fails their last push. Dot Hogs right back in this game, will be building up their Uber, should have probably 25 ad off of this med kill.
Yeah, they should indeed. Really great hold from the side of Dot Hogs, able to keep Dank alive, and good building all throughout too. Banny hiding in the corner by choke, not able to find anything. Good job on the combo from the Greasy Dot Hogs to check that, as now it's going to be a cap for the Greasy Dot Hogs as they're looking to try and extend this Uber ad potential as they're making their way through sewer. Gonna be trying to bust out. Crypt jumps through, but it's gonna be Shamu who dies to some nice traps from Logan, and now that's going to slow things down tremendously as Freyotech, they're on the aggression.
Banny not finding what he was looking for. Good job by the Dot Hogs protecting their medic in that situation. Banny gonna get aggressed on by Crypt, picking up his 3rd kill right there. That's a dead, and the Uber in. Very weak players on the side of the Dot Hogs. As Donovan is still behind. Times 3 on the cap right now for the Dot Hogs, but almost full Uber for FroyoTech. TC, they're gonna want to get right back into this fight.
Yeah, they are. It's only going to be those players alive because both soldiers went down. Now, especially with High Five dying, oh my, Jay's just in. However, he is going to take down so many. But now, Crypt onto Zilly. Zilly's holding for dear life, but eventually he is going to have to pop that. Crypt doing wonders right there to get that Uber out of Zilly. Dank staying alive, meaning, or actually respawning now, coming up, is means they're going to have a bit of Uber ad as well. FroyoTech are not going to be able to push that. Actually, they do get the respawners sent back, so they should be able to get through this choke just a little bit. Sin Karma now just coming up. Banny leading the charge for his team, but actually thinking better of it, recognizing now that Sin Karma is back and locking out those chokes. So it's just going to be evening things up, but because of that great play from Crypt, it's actually going to be Uber ad for FroyoTech, and I'm going to be interested to see if the Dot Hogs decide to do anything with it, Godfather.
Uber ad for the Dot Hogs indeed here. As Dank now has 100%. Uber's going to be in, getting pretty aggressive. It might be another leapfrog situation. Logan says no to Sin Karma, hitting the pipes, picking up a 5K off of it. 2nd cap, slow to come through. A few dead on both sides right now. Paul Dog going to fall. And Logan denying the cap. Rakuso looking for the medic. Oh, what a play! That's a drop.
Yeah, and now Shamu. Oh, right, nice pipe from Logan on. Dank is in trouble. I don't think he lives here. So yeah, that is going to be... Yeah, that's going to be Rakuso. He tried to go onto Logan. He dies to the pipe. And then Crypt jumps away to maybe try and get the kill onto Logan. He doesn't find it, so now he's just going to be trying to escape through IT. Unfortunate. Everyone just kind of leaving Dank to die there. You know, not really his fault. He just didn't have any players with him. But good pick up as well from FroyoTech. Banny trying to get in a bit early from his team. He does go down. And now, FroyoTech don't have Uber just quite yet. So if you're the Greasy Dot Hogs, you got to try and defend this, especially with Banny going down early. Now they are going to be able to get back on the mid, and I think FroyoTech are just going to give this up for the time being, Godfather.
Yeah, they are happy to give it up, try to work their way back in. Crypt going for a bomb, doesn't find anything with it, and we are seeing a bit of a stalemate just for now. The Ubers will be in hand soon enough. You don't want to drop any players here and give the other team a player ad, but FroyoTech can work their way forward. Keeping Zilly safe for now. Paul Dog going to be landing, not finding too much damage now. Good kills! Rakuso will clean up, and that's a death with 95%. It's 80 for the side of Dot Hogs right now. And Tank will be the target of a lot of focus fire, so has to be careful. Coming up on this Uber, landing in choke was Donovan. This should be the Uber out, TC.
It should be. They are going to be able to clean up to Zilly now just respawning, so it's not even going to be that big Uber diss out. And actually, there's no one for Zilly to heal for the moment, and now just finally meeting back up for your team. So it's actually going to technically be Uber ad for the side of a Dot Hog, so definitely coming out on the better of that exchange is now recognizing there's still down players on the side of FroyoTech. They're going to be trying to get their way in through choke. Going to be a bit of a battle in IT. Banny winning that against Crypt. Crucially, Rakuso running in behind. They should recognize he's there, and now they're going to be losing 2 on the Dot Hogs. FroyoTech going to repush this, Godfather.
FroyoTech getting in onto the point, and then just taking away a lot of space from the Dot Hogs, who are, you know, stuck in their own choke. Now, Dot Hogs technically have a small ad to work with, so might want to take this very fast, but they would have to do just that. Go very fast. Silly positioning up now. Time dwindling away to use. Paul Dog's going to get spotted. And in comes Banny, getting demolished, absolutely mulched, but does pick up the trade onto Paul Dog, TC.
Yeah, he does. And we do have a fade bomb from Crypt from Al-Qaeda out through choke. And he's going to be able to stay alive there, just maybe trying to see if he could get onto one of the weak players who are hanging out around there. Doesn't do so, so he is going to meet back up with his team. Jay is just playing so deep in IT here. He wants to try and get in here, but Crypt is actually going to be able to take him down. Some nice rockets from Crypt. And now, with Donovan going down as well, FroyoTech have to try and back up here, make sure no one else gets in, as it's going to be Greasy Dot Hogs walking through choke.
Yeah, Greasy.Hogs taking the initiative here. Rakuso gonna die to high five. He's on a 3K, but Paul Dog picks up Banny here. So Hogs not down players. They have player add. High five in a bit of trouble. The demo as well. The Uber gonna be used to save players on the side of Froyotech. Now Hogs working their way forward. Need to get that middle cap through now, but certainly holding the point, have some advantage here.
Yeah, Logan just going to be trying to play choke. He did a good damage to Shamu, but at this point, no one's really in position to try and capitalize off of it. Ubers are basically going to be even here as the Hogs cap it up. Technically, a little bit better for Zilly because they did use first, but I doubt Froyotech are going to do anything off of that, considering Greasy.Hogs are building fairly well as well. As now we head into a stalemate. This time, Greasy.Hogs opportunity to try and break it. We haven't seen any off classes yet. A remarkably different game than what we saw Froyotech against the Covenant. You know, Jay hasn't gone sniper, except for the last hold. You know, he hasn't gone it during the regular kind of mid to second extravaganza we've seen back and forth. So I think we're just going to be in for a few soldier sacks as the Greasy.Hogs makes their way in through sewer. Rakuso is going to be in IT. We do have a Fade Bomb. It's going to be a committal from actually Paul Dog. He does do a bit of damage, but not going to be enough. Rakuso does die. Shamu luckily going to trade out onto Jay. Donovan almost immediately coming in. Doesn't find anything.
Oh, it doesn't find anything. I think he was spotted going in early. Penny gonna get taken down by Shamu here, who's trying to work their way through choke. High five, trying to shoot the non-shiny players. The Uber used by both sides now as Froyotech counters in with their own charge. Sinkarma in a bit of trouble. He's up in the sky. Not finding too much damage from High five. High five getting the frags though. Shamu picks up Logan, and this is just a chaotic little scuffle happening, TC.
It is Crypt coming in, I think from IT, bombing in, did a lot of damage to the Froyotech players, but now he's going to be taken down early in this fight. It's going to be actually a mulch by Al-Qaeda. Jay is the only player on Froyotech going down. Banny going down as well means that Greasy.Hogs might be able to stay in control of their midpoint for the moment, as it now looks like they're going to be trying to recontest through choke just a little bit. Both of these teams being so aggressive. You love to see it, so much back and forth action happening right now, but I think things are going to equalize out here as once again, even Ubers, even players on the field for each team, as it's just going to be once again on the Greasy.Hogs to try and do something here. We do see a knife bomb in from Crypt.
No, Crypt's not going to find much there. Does go down. Donovan looking to contest this scout in front of him. So many fall from the Hogs. Rakuso, Shamu, and Crypt all dead. Their demo's going to hightail it out of there. Ubers are even, but player ad so cleanly in the hands of Froyotech. They're taking back this midpoint for free, and well, it depends on spawners, actually. Yeah, spawners going to be there in time now to help hold too, so Froyotech won't be able to do too much more. We do have the Donovan spy, though, TC, and I believe is coming up.
Yeah, he is. I think we saw it a little bit on Bagel. Still not quite sure about that Bagel spy play. At the moment, the spy makes a lot more sense. We haven't seen any off classes just quite yet, so you know, even the Greasy.Hogs might not be expecting it because they've just now gotten into this new stalemate. Not quite weird if Froyotech don't immediately sack, considering they're kind of known for making a few kind of long-term plays, but it's going to be Paul Dog dying in IT.
Right to the scout, not finding much, and Zilly's actually working their way forward here. Crypt is going to be behind. Need to be careful of that as he jumps in into the choke area. Looking for the rockets onto Zilly, hitting one, and the force is out. Hogs now have this Uber ad, but probably going to have to use in. Yes, Shamu will be the target of the beam now. Demo also working their way forward, and Zilly is dead. And it all falls apart for Froyotech here, losing Banny as well. Jay needs to die, but will they? Yes! Paul Dog finding the rockets. And only 3 alive for both sides. I think actually Froyotech is winning the DM fight somehow, TC.
Yeah, they are. That was so crucial from High Five to get onto Dank there. Unfortunately, Dank got disconnected, surfing up into sewer. None of his plays were able to follow him, and that does mean that Froyotech are going to be able to win that DM fight. Luckily, yet again, both medics dying, meaning it's going to be even. And we do have Jay up on the sniper, now finally coming up, ready to hit a few shots, put a damper, and these Greasy.Hogs plans, Godfather.
It's over. Not actually. I mean, Jay is just so good at snipering SIXES, and he makes it very clear that he's come to play tonight. Shamu is absolutely domed And no answer in terms of off classes for the Dot Hogs. Crypt in a bit of trouble. Sin Karma getting pressure back as well. Both teams at 70%. Pauldog is dead. That's 2 down. This gun going to be on cap, but it's down as well. No more engineer. Banny looking to get onto the point. Sin Karma in a lot of trouble here. Going to go down. Take doesn't have yet. They're actually 10% behind. Jay still up on Sniper. The Uber now forced out. And not finding much actually in this Uber for Logan. Jumping forward, getting onto Jay. Jay almost dies, but Logan's trap is enough. And Jay will hit Shamu again, but now dying to Rikuso. Oh, Jay has just domed twice now, but Dot Hogs hold on for now.
Yeah, they do hold on. They are going to have to worry about Frotech trying to get the force out onto their medic. Donovan is in. He gets the force. Great stuff there. They should be able to clean him up, and they do so. Still 2 down on the side of Frotech. This is still push outable, but with Sin Karma going down, and maybe not for the Greasy Dot Hogs, they're still working their way here. Frotech are playing it super far back, actually, so they're going to be able to get some time onto the point. We do see Banny jumping forward and maybe trying to make a bit of space for his team, as now Frotech want to try and deny this cap up, which they should be able to do. A great job from Logan, just kind of locking off the point, but Logan actually goes down. Great stuff from Paul to take him down, and with Donovan dying as well, it doesn't matter that Frotech have Uber ad. They don't have the players to stay in here. On to second, Jay dying as well, and now you got to try and get the force out from Zilly if you are the Dot Hogs.
Pauldog is just a menace. He hit a fadeaway, no look, all sorts of funny trick shot sounding names. Kill aimed there. Zilly maybe in a bit of trouble. Shamu gonna find the pack, but can they stay alive? Can they find a frag? Now re-looping, and there's gonna be damage in onto Zilly, who's 1 health, will go down. A nice play by Pauldog and Rikuso. Shamu also helping out. And High Five will die for it, but Dank and Rikuso staying alive for now. Where is Rikuso? Dank's on Pyro?
Dank
Hello?
is on Pyro. I think because he was the only one on last, maybe he was just waiting to make sure that the spawn wasn't trapped, something like that. You know, maybe like a last-ditch attempt at medic defense, but you didn't really need to worry about that because Freytech didn't actually cap up second, so there was going to be no one on last for him to have to worry about facing. But now, Greasy Dot Hogs going to be making their way in. They want to try and deny Freytech this cap up. Taking down Jay is going to be a great way to do that. So much time on the point for Freytech. Maybe if Jay was up, he would have tried to gone for a backup. It's going to be Donovan hiding IT. He is going to get the jump on the 2 players. He does manage to take down 1, but luckily Crypt is going to trade him out. So Freytech might try and refight this, however, Godfather.
Yeah, Banny jumping across the sky there. Logan is the target. Pauldog onto Zilly, not finding much. Banny looking for some heals now. ×2 on cap for the Dot Hogs. Still down 1. As is Donovan. Oh, now Banny taken down by Crypt. A nice opening find there. High Five also falling to Sin Pharma. And Zilly is in so much trouble, but will live, and the Uber's going to be out here, TC.
The Uber is going to be out. Zilly being able to surf away, and there's also a back half coming up from none other but Jay. He's managed to get it. He's going back to last. He should get cleaned up here. No, he's actually going to be able to No, he does finally get out, but Freytech are going to be able to make their way on to second. Zilly still has full Uber ad. Good stuff getting forced out there as well. They are going to be able to take down a few of these Dot Hog players, but they lose 3 of their own as well. Now the Dot Hogs trying to reaggress. They should be able to get onto Banny. It's just going to be Logan trying to lead the charge, maybe foolishly, in through 3. That's going to be basically a full wipe on Freyotech. Essential, crucial for the Dot Hogs, because remember, they have to win this map if they want to stay in this grand finals, Godfather.
I'm going to be on JPOV. I believe in his sniping abilities. Time ticking away. And continuous overtime will basically just be golden cap, you know, 1st to 2 if no one makes it here. So a very close matchup. Ooh, a nice shot, but it doesn't kill by Jay. Looking for him to find a little bit more here as he rotates around. And with ad in the hands of the Dot Hogs, they'll be looking to push in.
Yeah, they are. They're going to be calling it through IT, the right play when you know that there's a sniper on the field, so they don't have to use super early. Donovan is going to get 1. He actually gets onto Sin Karma, but they get everyone on Freyotech instead. Now, as long as they can cap up second and Donovan doesn't block it, he's a bit too late for it. This should be around for the side of a Greasy Dot Hogs, and they are going to be able to do it. Really great Uber coming in there from the Greasy Dot Hogs, making it a 2-1. There's only going to be 1 minute left on on the clock before we go into continuous overtime, Godfather. So it is going to be a 3-something game. The question is it going to be the Greasy Dot Hogs or FroyoTech going to get 2 back-to-back?
We will find out. I mean, to take that round just there at the end means Dot Hogs are in such a good spot to even it, actually not even it up. They are down 2-0 right now because of that first map given to FroyoTech, but we're in on this mid. Pauldog is the first to die. Shamu also falling. High five picks up Rakuso. And is there a salvage onto the medic? No, but Dank dies on the other side of things. Nobody can get onto Zilly. And FroyoTech right back in it with a good mid-fight win.
Yeah, that is a very dominant mid-fight win. They were just all trying to get onto Zilly. None of it worked out. Logan is now even trying to spawn a sticky trap v left spawn door. Looks like they all recognize it. They go through the left, and they're going to be able to stay alive. There is still a Kryptonite in behind, going to be doing a little bit of Soldier MGE on mid. He's going to try and draw a few players behind. He does draw 2, but yeah, Shamu up on Spy. Might get spotted. Yeah.
Caught. Should die here. Trying to take down the scout. Won't be able to. The Uber used by FroyoTech. Looking to even up the score here. Gun immediately down. Good pressure onto point. Pauldog jumping in. Who can touch? Looks like Rakuso's going to be the man to do it for the Dot Hogs. Getting onto the point now. No one's going to be there. Crypt, a hero, getting in, but High Five has the cap. And FroyoTech will tie it up. Next point wins for FroyoTech. If they clean this up, it'll be a clean 3-0 for them in this grand finals. Dot Hogs still just need one more TC. This has certainly become a more even game than either of us were expecting.
Yeah, it has. I did say, I think it'd be 3, but I did say 3-2 in the favor of FroyoTech. So, you know, maybe Greasy Dot Hogs can prove me wrong here and get in on this mid. Their mids have been okay, except for that last one, which they kind of botted in for Zilly. We are going to see a fade bomb from Donovan, maybe trying to make a bit of space for his team, as now the Greasy Dot Hogs trying to rotate to the left, but they're all taking so much damage. They're just kind of clumped up here by IT. They're just going to have to all wait for arrows. Donovan is trying to wrap around behind. They do manage to rotate over. Bandy now coming in for a bomb, maybe a bit before the rest of his team are able to help out, as now the Greasy Dot Hogs trying to go forward. They get onto Logan. That's a great start. They take down High Five. Donovan going down as well. Zilly is going to use the Uber, a solo onto Jay. He's doing a lot of damage. It's going to be Dank trying to hold him. They are going to be able to do so, but can he get onto Dank? No, Jay does die there, meaning Dank does stay alive. Zilly should be able to run out here. No one's really in position to try and chase him out, and with Bandy as well protecting his med, that's going to be Zilly staying alive, but full Uber ad for the Greasy Dot Hogs. Are going to be able to get onto second here, and these are the moments where they have to convert. Godfather, they got full Uber ad. Jay is up on Sniper. High Five is up on Sentry. FroyoTech mounting the best defense they possibly can to make sure they don't go to another map here, but you know that the Greasy Dot Hogs want to convert here. It all comes down to here to this last push.
The night is young, TC. I think we've got time for a whole lot more TF2 if Dot Hogs can make it happen here. We will go to another map. Let's see if they can do it. Tank! Eat some damage there before using. Uber going to be in for the side of the Dot Hogs. Nobody pressuring the point yet. That's been an issue for them in the past. Now Rakuso, he's on it. Getting good cap time. Won't be able to close it out. Getting in. Tank, Crypt. No one's going to be there. Pauldog could go for it, but there's now a heavy on the field, and somehow FroyoTech will hold on to that and be able to hold this map. Oh no, Pauldog is lurking. I don't think High Five knows. Oh, High Five knows now.
Yeah, he does know.
Gonna go check it too. Yeah, and that cap comes through, so wouldn't matter anyway. Pauldog actually gonna die very late there. A 15-second respawn is no good for the Dot Hogs.
It is no good. That was so close on the cap time for them. And now Zilly has 100% Uber at FroyoTech and be making their way in through choke here. They're not going to have to use, looks like the Dot Hogs are going to be happy to just give this up. But now they got to figure out how they're going to try and get this Uber out from FroyoTech, because if they just let them go forward, actually no, FroyoTech just going to be using in, bombing in Logan super deep. They don't get anyone here. So now it's going to be an opportunity for the Greasy Dot Hogs to try and push out here. Rakuso just caught in a little bit. So now the Greasy Dot Hogs probably got to wait for their scout to respawn before they want to try and push in here, Godfather.
Yeah, I mean, FroyoTech about to close it out if they can secure this, but they are at disad. Hasn't stopped them in the past. I want to see how they approach this The Dot Hogs working their way into lobby. They want to get out here. There is a soldier to be careful of. Donovan's going to be going to the last point, but people are waiting for him there. Not finding too much damage onto Donovan. He picks up a pack. Crypt is actually going to die now. Donovan on the med. Doesn't hit the air shot, but will hit the follow-up. And the medic dead. To the side of the Dot Hogs, they lose 3. Just like that, Fryotech so close to closing it out here, TC.
Yeah, now Fryotech, they're going to be trying to get in here. We do see actually a headshot from Rakuso onto Zilly, but there's still so much cap time on the point, and that's going to be it. The Fryotech wins.
No.
RGL Season 12 Grand Finals. They are going to be your #1 victors, taking it 3-2. So close. Amazing showing from the Greasy Dot Hogs, making it as close as they possibly could. But unfortunately for them, that's going to be Fryotech taking it in 2 maps. Fryotech winning it in 2 maps. Great stuff from them. And they have gone on to reclaim their spot as the top dogs in Invite.
Dolphin doing some unboxing. Gets a strange medical emergency, and a dueling mini game, I think. Anyway, that is our grand finals matchup. So Fryotech, for the first time since RGL LAN, when I casted them live in person, are back on top of Invite. Have that #1 spot. Sure, must feel good for them. I'm sure we'll have some of them getting in to Mumble. But let's first take a look at logs. I want to see how big Jay was tonight.
Yeah, I mean, just that, I mean, that big log is insane, you know.
Jay MVP for sure from me.
Yeah, and then as we go in onto process, pulling up the logs here, I mean, Logan actually kind of having a J performance in his own right, 30-9. Logan was popping off. I mean, 30-9. The man is insane, just doing so much damage as well. 341. High five, having a great game. 21-13. I mean, it's just the Fryotech players just coming out to play and just doing really great stuff. Interesting to note is that, you know, the mids were all, except for one, that 1-1 where they kind of botted in for Zilly, all went the way of the Greasy Dot Hog. So you can see why they picked this map. That's probably why it was so close as well, is because their mids were actually really, really good against Fryotech. And they were able to get fairly deep into each round because of it. But just at the end of the day, Fryotech were able to swing it in that coast to coast and able to cap it up 3-2. Also, Godfather, Dank dying 7 times. Zilly dying 12. So that's another factor of why it was so close. Dank was able to stay alive so many times. The Greasy Dot Hogs did wonders to get onto Zilly so often, but at the end of the day, Fryotech were just too much of a beast for them to handle.
I agree. I mean, I looked at the med deaths as well. Dank only 7, Zilly 12, and 20 charges, 20 Ubers for Dank, 15 for Zilly. Zilly, of course, sporting that 1 drop at the very last moment, but it did not matter. Just a small blemish on the logs for the new champion medic of Invite. I'm seeing not too much else of interest in here. I mean, Logan and High Five really put the team on their back this time around, as well as Jay finding so many frags. But that is pretty much the story of this Grants.
Yeah, it is indeed the story of the Grands. Great stuff from Fryotech, making it, coming back, like you said, reclaiming that seed. Also great stuff from the Greasy Dot Hogs, taking it extremely close to Fryotech. Even though Bagel was a 4-1, there were 2 pretty close rounds in there. One of them, Greasy Dot Hogs walking away with. And then also on process, you know, that's a pretty close back and forth nail biter of a game there, Godfather. And it is going to be still Fryotech walking away with it. Hopefully we see some of these players in some form in the upcoming seasons. You know, Fryotech's going to stick around. Interesting to see what the Greasy Dot Hogs do. But we can talk about a few things before we go to those interviews.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that needs to be brought up one more time at least is that there is new merch. Ladies and gentlemen, check it out at shop.rgl.gg. We're going to swap over to Mumble for interviews in a moment here, but just check out all these fantastic designs, stickers, hoodies, shirts. I think there might be pins as well. Shop.rgl.gg. I think I might be picking up those Snake Water and Bad Water or whatever it was map badges. Those were real nice. But the Crabtastic and the Scatterdelic, now this RIP sticker, rest in peace. Your lights back it. I win. The end. Fryotech probably feeling like that right now. I will switch over to Mumble. Apologies if my voice was doubled there for a moment. TC, we got, looks like all of FroyoTech in for interviews. Congratulations, gentlemen, on a comeback season win.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Habib is in here too. Habib, I didn't see
I think
you
that's
play.
Jay.
Habib is Jay.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
right,
Habib.
you're still
I'm
up
Habib.
there.
Well, of course, regardless, amazing stuff from all of y'all, taking it in 2 maps. And I guess the first thing we can start with, going back to Bagel. What were your initial thoughts after that first round where you guys probably should have won that first round, but just a slight miscalculation with the cap sent you into being a round down?
Yeah, the match started off a little bit sloppy. I think we let Zilly die. I think that was kind of overall our biggest sort of mistake as a team, was letting our mid die. You know, not keeping him as safe, not preserving our advantages as much as we probably could have. So I think a couple of those ended up biting us on that round in particular. But we were quick to just realize what was the problem and, you know, adapted to that and closed it out from there.
Of course. And then can you talk about the Bagel pick? What reasons did you have for picking it? Did you think, was it a map that you thought suited you guys better, or do you think it was a map that was not particularly good for the Greasy Dot Hogs?
Yeah. Well, I know Logan loves Koth, so I usually pick Koth as a favor to him.
Thank you.
So they banned Viaduct, which I think we would have probably picked had they left it in. So we went for Bagel instead to just get that Koth so that our team could farm their DPM.
Yes, speaking of farming DPM, Jay, you had a monstrous game on that. Like, just talk us about that. Was it just like super easy for you getting in behind? Like, what allowed you to get that insane stat line?
Habib's setup. That's I don't know
Really?
what else to say. Yes, his setup is way better than mine. Surprisingly, I just felt so comfortable here. The chair, the table, the monitor. It was just perfect.
You're saying you could be even better if you got a similar setup at home?
Yeah, probably.
I think the stats show it. I mean, you had 75% scattergun accuracy. Most people get reported for that stat line.
I was also just feeling it personally, so
That's good.
I was just ready to play.
Of course. Well, yeah, it definitely showed out. You guys all did phenomenal on map 1. And then moving over to map 2, which was the Greasy Dot Hogs pick. What were you guys expecting going into that? You've kind of seen the Greasy Dot Hogs play it a couple times now against the Covenant as well. Did you have any, you know, preconceived notions on what they might do here? Or were you just kind of going in expecting to play your best game?
Well, one thing I definitely have been picking up from them is just in general on 5CP, they're playing a lot more aggressive. I feel like right now, it seems like they're, as a team, they were kind of starting to hit their stride. Whereas like in the regular season and stuff, they were a lot more, you know, disjointed and all that. So that was something we were anticipating a lot, just in general, was their like floods and their dry pushes and stuff. And then I guess one other small quirk was just like the mids. We knew they really like to do that right side shove. So we kind of had some idea that that was coming, and we're able to kind of quickly react, I suppose. Not that we won every mid off of that, but at least we didn't get completely surprised by it, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. And then if we can talk about the mids, it seemed to be going mostly the Greasy Dot Hogs way, except for that one where it seemed like they just tried the bot at Zilly the entire time. What did you guys, like, how did you guys kind of recover from that each round where they kind of won the mid, and how did you get back into each round when it was such a tense game?
Anyone else have any thoughts? Is High Five in here? Let's hear High Five thoughts.
On what exactly? What am I talking about?
About how we recovered from losing mids, but not getting rolled in the round, or, you know, how we approached coming back in some of those rounds.
I don't know. We held last, is what we did.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, we just tried to stabilize as much as we could, see if we could slow them down a little bit. And usually the key for us to like rebuild momentum was just we'd find a pick during their Uber or something like that, or right before their push, and then that created a little bit of room for us to try and like, you know, set up for a collapse and chase them out and things like that. We had a lot of close calls. I mean, that last round was a coast to coast off of you know, us losing our medic and them having massive ad into last, and they nearly capped last. So a lot of it was just keeping a cool head, staying focused on, you know, the current moment, and always believing that there was a way to recover. And that's one of the beauties of TF2 is that you can always recover.
Yes, indeed, indeed. I got 2 more questions, and Godfather's got the last one. Second to last question from me, especially on process. You know, looking at the stat line, Dank only dying 7 times, Zilly dying 12. How are you guys able to adapt around that, even if your medic was dying a bit more? Was it just kind of taking as much ground as you could, even with Zilly dead, or did you not really even notice it, or did it not really even affect you guys?
Bro, I was playing so bad. I was like not real, but I don't know. I think like they finally like gave us like cleaner chances, and we kind of took it all the way to their last like cleanly, and they just started making mistakes when I think they got like desperate.
Yeah.
We just were able to close it out.
A lot of times for them to get Zilly, it would cost them like 3 players, and so that did create some opportunities for us to like still like finish a cap or something like that, and then potentially like set up with spawners. So we were able to, even though we would lose our medic, we'd still kind of like get enough picks to keep us in the fight. It wasn't like Zilly would just die and we all just leave. A lot of times we would manage to, you know, react and counter that with something that would buy us a little bit of time. And I think that's really important, because if Zilly were to die and we all just leave or insta feed, you know, something like that, they would be able to carry that momentum a lot more. And I think that in general, that's like one of the things that I was trying to call a lot throughout the match, is just like, you know, cut our losses, stabilize, you know, it's okay if we lose our med, you know, because we can always force them to make a mistake somewhere else, and we didn't want to just throw away those rounds.
Of course. Well, the last question from me before Godfather has the last question in total is a Donovan, how does it feel to be an invite champion, invite #1? You know, your 3rd season on FroyoTech. It's been a long time coming. How does it feel to finally get that you know, gold trophy?
It feels like I've been working towards it. I've definitely like seen improvement from myself over the last 2 seasons. Like I was like a little advanced player before I joined the team, and it feels like I already had like won before, but I just never had like the full like championship title. Like it felt like I was already at this level, but it feels really good to finally actually have it. It feels like I should have had it before, but
Yeah, we had a couple chances. We came close, but, you know, eye on the prize.
persevered.
We secure it this season. And yeah, I'll just say Donovan as a player, you know, definitely was someone that I always saw potential in. That's why, you know, he made it on the team season 10. And I just felt like he kept, you know, proving that he could learn and improve and perform at a high level. So, you know, we kept him on the squad, even though some of the others may have come and gone. He's still part of the team, and I think, yeah, now he's firmly a top invite roamer and outplayed, you know, all the opposition this season. So, yeah, congrats. But I will also say, there may be some others here. Yeah, there may be some others in this this roster that have been chasing that dub a little longer than Donovan.
Oh.
Yeah, a little while.
That's my bad. My bad for forgetting. I was just focused
okay.
on Donovan, his 3rd season on FroyoTech, but that's true. High five as well. How does it feel?
You know, it doesn't feel like much right now, but I don't know if it's
Okay.
maybe later.
Yeah.
My
Maybe
question
later.
for you, gentlemen, is what are your plans for next season? Where's FroyoTech going from here, Benny?
Well, FroyoTech will return. Definitely gonna start looking forward to the LAN that is happening in Philadelphia, September 30th through October 1st. Looks like, you know, some competition is going to be heating up for that. I know some of these teams that just played this season are going to be attending that, and then maybe some other teams will form. So I think the competition is looking up. We will, you know, we'll do what we always do and try to put together the best possible roster. Exact details to be determined, but stay tuned, because this is definitely not the last you'll see of Froyo Tech.
There you have it. Any individuals have any specific plans? I don't know. Any deviations?
Chang?
Oh, well, we'll hear if anyone has any surprises.
Well.
But usually we haven't had a chance to really discuss this fully, so if anyone wants to break some news right now, feel free.
TC's
for
rostering.
Overwatch.
That's the news.
No. Well, we
With
rebuild
that-
the whole team again.
I think, Banny, you're at the top of the list here. What are your shoutouts? I know you already talked about the LAN, but floor is yours, sir.
Yes, well, congrats to my teammates. Well played all around. It was a pleasure, as always. Big shout out to Zilly for stepping up, joining the team kind of on short notice to close out the season. Played well in the playoffs. Shout out to May for, being there to start off the season strong with us, and then I hope he's doing well. But we finished what he started, so hope we'll be seeing him back soon. Shout out to Habib, Patty, Eric, 404, a couple people we've been getting to ring. Some of the Froyo Tech family still showing up when we needed players on short notice. Shout out to you guys for running the cast. Playoffs ran fairly smoothly, so thanks to RGL and GG's to Dot Hogs. I was surprised to see them in the grand finals, honestly. Thought it'd be Covenant, but they definitely stepped up as a team and put on a good match. So yeah, GG's all around.
There you have it. Donovan, you are up next. What are your shoutouts?
Shout out to the agency and the Ether Mumble, and shout out to my cousin and family at home that's watching.
Are they watching live right now?
Yeah, my cousin's a newcomer SIXES player, so he'll be up here soon.
Let's go. Great stuff. Jay, over on Habib's computer, shoutouts.
Shout out to Froyo. Shout out to the Dot Hogs. Shout out to the viewers. Shout out to you guys, Production, and shout out to Habib for letting me use his PC. You want to say something?
Very eloquent speaker.
Habib always knows what to say. High five, your shoutouts.
Just shout out to Yipe, boy.
Fair
Something like
enough.
that.
Logan, how about you?
Shout out to everyone watching. Shout out to you guys for casting. Shout out to all the Froyo fans. And shout out to all the G6ers out there.
And TC Mano, my co-caster extraordinaire, your shoutouts, sir.
Of course. Obviously, shout-outs to all you guys for playing. You guys did phenomenal. Special shout-outs as well to High Five and Donovan for taking that invite win. Obviously, Godfather and Dolphin, you guys are phenomenal to always cast with as well. The players in general, Greasy Dot Hogs put up a great showing, and without you guys playing, there'd be no match to cast. Shout-outs to you guys for watching. And as well, Zilly, you have any shout-outs you'd like to do?
Shout out to Marmaloo, Brand Slam, Wall Guy. Shout out to Rakuso. He's my first teammate, or one of my first teammates when I first played Invite like a million years ago. Shout out to Kyle. We've been playing together for on and off for so long.
Facts. Long time.
Very nice. Again, congrats to the side of Froyo Tech beating the Greasy Dot Hogs here. My shoutouts are of course to TC and Dolphin, to all the people who were watching at home, following and subscribing. That's all greatly appreciated. Check out the new merch. It's really great stuff. And with that, this concludes Invite 6's Season 12 Grand Finals. Froyo Tech are back on top for the first time since LAN. They beat the Greasy Dot Hogs. My name's Godfather. Had TC on the mic, Dolphin behind the scenes. Have a great night.
Good night.
Peace.